We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Recorded to you live from Dom Tori's house.
Hey, I'm here, motherfucker.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we are back, and he's back.
That is me.
Who's
back?
You, that kid.
Who?
Dom Tori.
Dom Tori.
The one and only, folks.
Oh, that guy.
I remember him.
I remember him, yeah.
And he looks...
After a long hiatus.
He's got a beard now.
Yeah, he's...
Nice to see you back
Yeah.
on the Wicked Theory podcast.
He's got the
He's
Sons
looking
of
all Billy
Anarchy.
Gibbons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, okay, there you go. Billy Gibbons, that's a reference.
Exactly. Yeah, I was stranded on an island for about 7 weeks.
Oh, my God. But no tan.
No tan.
No tan. A lot of shade on that
It
island.
was a shady island.
Shady indeed.
It was a lonely island.
You live on Shady Island. Just want you to, we all do, as a matter of fact. Yeah. But besides my buddy Dom, who's back in action, we got my buddy Ed.
Hey.
I guess I upgraded you to buddy or something. Well, friend Ed. Okay, we'll stick with that. And my brother Bob.
Hello.
My brother Bob on like a guitar.
He's on the guitar.
He's on the guitar.
You realize what you just did now?
What did I?
We're going to get an email from someone, I won't say his name,
Right.
asking us to give a detailed breakdown of the difference between a friend and a buddy.
That's true. That's true. Bill, what is the difference between a friend and a buddy? And to what degree would you classify me? I put up his book.
Well, Homer.
Well, anybody who calls me as much as that guy does, I guess he's a buddy. No, but he is. So Dom, it's great to have you back. Seriously, legitimately, it's a great time in Italy right now.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, I was away from the show for a few weeks.
Oh shit! I think they know.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know.
All 12 of our fans probably know.
The regs.
I
the
was
regs.
opening up to people, maybe first listeners. Not that we get any.
That's
on
true.
this-
That's true.
on
Well,
this
in the
show,
old Stanley
but-
sense, every episode or issue is somebody's first, right? So that's good. That's a good call. That's a good call.
I'm sure we have new
See,
listeners.
you see what happens when he's back? We got a thinker in the room again. You know what I mean? I like it. All right, so you were in Mexico?
No.
They took your kidney?
No. I was. I had.
You don't have to explain nothing, bro, really. To be honest with you. We can just move on.
That's true. Fuck it. You
Fuck
know
it.
what?
Leave it as a mystery.
Fuck
Leave it
it,
as a
you
mystery.
motherfucker.
Oh,
Tell you
yeah.
shit.
Well, not me. I mean,
Well,
you mean
know
them.
already.
Yeah, I already know.
Inside the.
You saved 3 kids, bro. It was crazy.
I just want to know who paid the ransom.
That's all, you know. Well, we can't talk about that, I guess. All right, so, hey, kids, welcome back. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. This is episode 56. I straightened it all out. I counted the episodes. This is actually episode 56. For real?
Wow.
That's how you know you're a real podcast, when eventually you kind of lose track of what number it is. I've heard that happen on other
About
shows.
the 13 months of podcasting.
There you go.
Without a break.
Wow. That's good. See, math, man.
Yeah.
Again, just not my thing. But good thing I got you guys here for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you all in charge. You now are the Prime Minister of Multiplication. You are the Tsar of Division.
Who are you referring to?
Okay, so Bob. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
The people
yeah.
at home can't see me pointing.
Yeah.
Bob is
Czar of mathematics? Czar of
Multiplication. Prime Minister. Prime Minister. I mentioned.
Okay. Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Multiplication. You are the Tsar of Long Division.
The Czar of Long Division.
Long Division.
Long
That's it.
Division.
And you, Dominic, will be Chief Magistrate.
Of addition and subtraction?
Yeah, let's keep it simple. Because I'm going to need you the most.
I'm rough at math, man.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I kept it in the
No, that's why he kept it to addition and subtraction.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, I believe it was our friend Stephanie who tweeted out a profound statement.
I did
you
not
made
realize
last
how
week's show.
profound it was until afterwards I said it. I was like, yeah, that was a pretty good line. Which was...
subtraction. You take it away, but where does
does
it go?
Like, I don't get it. Okay. That should have been like something like I asked when I was a little kid. Be like, okay, I got it. Yeah, you take it away.
Goes
but
into
where do
the
I put
negative
it?
zone.
Right. It's in your pocket. It's just in your pocket. They're all filling up in your pockets. So, again, we are going to move stuff around. We're going to try this again because I feel like it worked last week. If you don't think it worked, you can send me an email about it. But we're pushing the emails to the end of the episode. We're going to move the other stuff up front a little more, a little more juiciness in the beginning of the episode. So, but just a reminder to people, hey, we're still doing that preacher versus preacher thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we're having a real good go with it. Not to say nothing, but you know, episode 2 of that, well, 3, the actual one we did for the pilot, the review of the pilot, actually has gotten now officially more hits than any episode of this show.
Really?
Yeah, so it's outpacing us.
That's the problem.
That's good then.
This should be episode.
It is good. It is a good thing.
It should be episode 1, and the other one should have been like 0 and 0.5. But it's your show.
Right. Well,
I'm not good at math.
Hey, if you
It's
would
got
have
good
manned
numbers.
up and read the books way back when, you could have been on the show. You could have told us.
This is true.
That's true. You could have put your fucking 2 cents in.
This is true.
Instead, he decided to be a whiny little bitch.
Thank God.
Throw that book across the room.
My fucking shadow's back. I love it. Fucking thanks, Dom. Thanks for backing me up. Not throwing me under the bus like this guy.
It was shocking. It was frightening.
It was frightening. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, folks, if you're into the show Preacher and you've read the books, at the very least you've read the first book, check it out. And we're trying to not be too crazy spoilery, but it feels like, it's a hard line for us to walk, but check it out.
We could ask Ed how he felt about Preacher.
We
Did you
could.
see Preacher?
We could. Yes, I did.
I guess I could ask Ed.
So what did you think there, Ed?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, Ed, I forgot. This is for you. All right.
There we go.
Okay, now it's official.
Mm-hmm.
So, what'd you say? You hated it?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. It's good. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting for us to get his look on it because he's someone who hasn't really read the books.
So keep it under let's keep it short and sweet. Let's not
Yeah, no, I didn't mean for it to be anything.
No, I know.
No.
I'm just fucking with
Ed.
Ed. I'm just goofing there.
I enjoyed it. It's a good show. I'm going to keep on watching it.
Cool.
The thing the only thing that got me was the same thing that got me with when I read the first trade of the comic was kind of there's a lot of shock value stuff in there.
Yeah.
That whole scene in the bar when he breaks his arm was little much for me to handle, know, and that's more of a personal thing.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I find that some of the stuff, as much as I enjoy it, even for what it is, shock value stuff, that there are things that are just done because it's a crazy story, and it's like, sometimes you can debate whether it's crazy for crazy's sake, certain things.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But otherwise, it's that kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
and
so
also-
either you like it or either it works for you or it doesn't.
And
Bear
also,
and Rabbit and the Bear Trap sounds don't work for everybody.
Fair enough.
yeah, and the things I'm most interested is kind of like the spiritual and the whole angels and demons aspect, and that's the thing they don't really go into.
Not just yet, but it's coming. It's coming. All right, enough. We're going to move on because that's the thing we talk about constantly.
Yeah.
On another show.
On another show, and here
yeah.
too. I'd rather have it dominate here if you want to know more about it.
So, Bill,
Hey!
speaking of pilots, have you watched anything else lately?
I did. I finally got to watch Outcast. Did anybody else watch the pilot for Outcast?
Haven't gotten a chance
Cinemax?
to.
Well, I watched the first 15 minutes.
All right, well, that's cool because that's creepy as hell. And
Yeah.
that continues. That feeling continues. Does not stop.
It's definitely a very creepy show.
Yeah, so it's based on the comic book from Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead. Me and Dom both read it as a comic.
Comes out monthly.
Yeah, it comes out monthly. And really good. Really good. I think it follows the first issue or so pretty tightly.
Yeah.
From what I understand, kind of spread out a little bit. We'll get a little bit more into the town a little faster than it does in the book. But yeah, it maintains that opening creepiness all the way through.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds in, and then it grabs you. It's like, okay, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Without saying what it is that takes place.
Yeah, it's really
know,
crazy.
it's-
It's
There's a
talk about shock value.
There's a head banging moment. Let's put it that way.
It's what comes like a couple of moments after that when that intro, when that cold open wraps up. The last beat of that. So yeah, no, really good. People check it out. It should still be up for free on YouTube and wherever they put free stuff up.
It's
I'm sure on Cinemax's website and whatnot. But Outcast, first episode.
I'm
really
sure
good.
there's going to be a Facebook website and everything.
I'm kind of like, oh man, wish I had Cinemax right now, but I don't. So you may not be hearing much more about that, but I enjoyed it. I wish you guys had seen it. Ed, stop highlighting everything in the document.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. You're distracting me. I'm like, why is everything turning fuchsia? It's because Ed's highlighting. Okay, so anyway, Tom, since you've been away, I'll throw it to you. You got anything for the meanwhile? Is anything you might have seen, watched, read, some kind of pop culture media you might have absorbed that you feel like sharing with the group?
No, not necessarily.
All right, then fuck you.
Yeah.
All right. No, but nothing. Nothing.
No.
Not even like a Michael Jackson video? Man in the Mirror? Smooth Criminal? Something?
I've seen it, but not
All
recently.
right. Well, that's good. That's good. All right. But this week, Ed, you got something from the comic shelves.
Yes. Actually, there were two big comic books that came out this week.
Yeah.
And the one I'll talk about is DC Universe Rebirth #1.
They did it. They rebirthed it.
Mm-hmm.
I read it too.
Yeah.
Was it a C-section?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. I mean,
There's a lot of pain in this, right?
They are removing some tumors. I will
Yes.
tell you that.
Really?
They are excising wounds and lesions and cutting off leeches
And
left and right in that thing.
Well, that's good.
I'm
Yeah.
going to use a fancy film studies word here.
Uh-oh.
The reflexivity
Nice.
of
Now, how are you
of
going to
this
use
issue.
that word?
Okay, of the way that characters feel about the universe really reflects the way fans feel about the universe.
It was almost a little too meta with that.
Yeah.
There was some stuff like, things have been wrong for a short while.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was a little bit of
Yeah.
that kind of thing going
It
on.
feels
but
like
it's just the
so-
right amount.
You know, it's the same place, but something's off.
It was just amount of that, so
Yeah.
it was a little just obvious enough that this is like a letter to the fans. Like, we're changing it, we're trying to fix
Yes.
it. We know we get it, and not to spoil too much, but
Yeah,
and
it's
they really do. And let's just jump to the end if you don't mind.
yeah.
unless
yeah.
you got another nugget you want to drop.
The other thing I would just
Okay.
say, this reminds me a lot of the countdown to Infinite Crisis issue.
The prelude to the countdown to the crisis of the Infinites.
No, it starred Blue Beetle.
That guy, Cord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ted Cord Blue Beetle, which spoiler.
I thought I was going to get a little T to the Ted right there or something. Ted to the cord to the BT.
But really, it's where you see the DC universe from one character's perspective, and then just really leads and just the big giant question at the end is what the hell does this mean?
Yeah, well, you're still left with that. That's one of the great things. But the twist is definitely a thing where
Are we going to spoil it?
I don't know. Should we?
Please don't.
Please don't.
I haven't read it yet.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
all right.
Out of respect for someone at the table.
Yes,
Not for the listeners.
What I will say about the ending is I did not know that was possible.
I didn't know we could do that.
For someone who's been reading comics for 20 years and think you know the patterns, you know the ins and outs,
Yeah.
you know the beats that stories are going to go. For me to be surprised by something, I that means a lot, and I'm going to go back to DC Comics on a weekly basis now.
Not to dilute you, but what's great about it is not so much that the familiar. It's still a familiar thing that happens, but the mechanic used to right the wrong in a way of the 52 is one that you just didn't think they would use or they would do,
Yeah.
and it's smart. It works. It works. Okay, I'll end up spoiling it if I keep going, but it's good. I was pleasantly surprised at how
Now,
good it was.
Is Rebirth going to be monthly as a title, or is it?
No. This is a one shot, and
Okay.
what they're doing is for all of their new titles that they're releasing out slowly. No, not all of them are bi-weekly, but just
All the big-
every new number
Yeah.
one.
All the
it's
big
gonna,
hitters are
Yeah, it's going to be
bi-weekly.
preceded by a Rebirth one shot, just to kind of give you a hint as to what's going on.
And go get this DC Rebirth if you're interested now before the reprint comes out, because right now this DC Rebirth comic book, this one shot that kind of launches all this,
It's an 80-pager. It's
$2.99. That's a deal. And next, when it gets reprinted, it's going to go jump up to regular standard price, which is be $5.99. So it's going to get another $3 tacked onto it. So get it now while it's still fresh and tasty in shops. To find your local comic shop, go to comicshoplocator.com or call 1-800-COMIC-BOOK.
Yeah.
Or just
Another reason would be to get it now, because when it becomes more expensive, the first runs are going to become more valuable.
This is true.
Well, true indeed. Just by nature of a
Just
reprint.
by nature of reprint.
If you got that mindset.
Yeah, so it
that's
might
your
actually,
thing.
and if it ends up being something that's significant to the DC universe
Yeah.
in the future,
Yeah.
then it will have significant value.
Normally, I got to fight the reflex. I almost threw it to the emails because this is the part where we would normally do that, but
Yes,
we're
it
not.
is.
Okay, so in the
Supplies.
news, we're going to jump to some news. And what I love about the news is the jingle jangle. Oh, Tom, tell me you missed that.
I didn't miss that.
No, you're a fucking jerk off. You're an ass.
Fuck you, Dom.
Why did we bring you here?
I take that personally. Fuck you, buddy.
I do appreciate your honesty, but maybe next time you keep something like that to yourself.
Okay.
Okay, fine. If that's what you want to be about, fine. All right. So now here's the thing. I have a bit of a conundrum here now, guys.
Okay. Nice word.
Between Dom and Ed. And we got 2 ways we can settle this. Does anybody have any idea where I'm going with this?
Oh, which one of us is going to read the news?
Here's the thing. We can work this out democratically, or I can make you guys super fight for it.
I say we super fight.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
super
news
fight sounds fun.
News is on a bit of a delay now. So what we're going to do...
I was just going to give it to you, but okay, go ahead.
For anyone who doesn't know,
say,
Super Fight is a nice little
I need to show my
card game.
So,
card battle game.
Card battle game. Basically, it's from Skybound Games. That's the company from Robert Kirkman, and it's a fun little thing. You'll figure it out as we go.
Basically, Fight Club and
so
card
we'll do
form.
1 and 1 to make it fast. Take 1 white, 1 black card. You take 1 white card, 1 black card, sir. And on 1 card is a character, on the other card is a trait. And you two will be verbally battling it out. Me and Bob will try and be fair about it and make a decision.
I got a fucking good one.
All right, so Dom, since you can speak, actually, we'll go with you. We'll let Ed continue to cackle. So, Dom, what do you got?
I am conjoined twins
Yes.
that are hypnotists.
Nice. Double hypnotists.
That's dangerous, Ed.
that sounds
You're
pretty
going
dangerous.
down, buddy.
Ed, what do you got?
I'm a leprechaun
Yeah.
who is also a pacifist.
So, wow, I think, I don't know. Damn, we should who do we let make the first move? Someone's got to make the first move.
And I think I'll let you go first since you're quite small.
Well, you see, boy,
Oh, here we go.
Boyo.
I'm gonna be so nice to you, and so peaceful that you won't want to hurt me at all. There's nothing that you could do. You can use your fancy hypnotism on me, but you're gonna feel so bad inside that you can't really go through with it.
All right, and then
You have a better Irish accent than fucking the guy that's playing Cassidy on Preacher.
Oh, really?
And he's Irish.
No. He's English, but he's still. I don't know. They both sound like Lucky
And
Charms
it's
to
not
me.
an accent; it's a brogue.
I don't know. Someone's going to argue with that. I'm sure. One listener from Ireland's going to write in. Brian Hughes.
Oh, that's right, Brian Hughes.
Technically, he's the closest.
He's Scotland, right?
He's Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
But I'm sure he could chime in.
Yeah, he wants to destroy me right now. I
Probably,
know.
probably. He's like, that's how my aunt sounds when she's drunk at the bar. All right, at the bar. So, Dom, what's your move going to be? Because this guy's like just talking to you nice, I guess. I'm not really sure. But what do you got?
First, I would most definitely use my hypnotist skills to convince you to take me to the end of the rainbow. Give me those fucking gold coins, motherfucker. And then I'd just cast some bullshit spell on you. You'd fucking get tied up around the tree or some shit, and then you'd die. And then I'd win, and then I'd read the fucking notes for the news. And then I'd
Read the notes for the news.
All right.
Oh, I think
maybe we got to do this again.
I think we need one more card. I think we need one more card.
Yeah.
I think we need another black card to try because the white card is the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you pick your own. I don't want to be accused of anything, any maliciousness.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if this might.
That's like such a.
We'll see if this might punch up the game a little bit. All right. So I let Dom. But he tossed it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
let me explain to you what I am, and then you can go. So I am a leprechaun
pacifist.
who's a pacifist.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We're just starting like a whole new thing. Or?
No. We're just adding this to
Yeah, no. So
that
it's
fight. So
basically
now
we
you have
go
a second,
another round.
another round.
Okay, so I'm a leprechaun who's also a pacifist and has majestic flaming antlers growing out of my head.
So you won't use them, basically. But they look nice. They really look nice.
So I have conjoined twins that are hypnotists with a venomous bite.
Oof. Ed, your move. Let's make it snappy. What do you do?
Well, majestic flaming antlers. See, I want to attach other powers that, the flaming antlers can deflect anything.
Yeah.
But I know that's not what the card says. So I can't
basically,
really
you're
go
supposed to
with that.
kind of ram them at him, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't because you're a pacifist. So if you wanted to,
But I wait.
the best thing to do would be to let Dom go
think it
first.
depends on your
I can use them-
definition of the word.
I can use them
pacifist.
as a defense mechanism. I can put my head down as if I'm
Sure.
trying to defend myself.
Sure.
And then if
Right.
he just happens to
Hence-
fall on top of the antlers and be set on fire with,
Right,
stuck
right,
into his
fair
stomach, that's his problem, not mine.
And you could be like a passive-aggressive pacifist where it's like, oh, I didn't mean to trip and fall on you, but I kind of did. You know what I mean? And like impaled you. But I shouldn't be helping. Dom, what's your move at this point? What's your move
At this
or
point,
counter
I think
move?
my best move is to somehow work my hypnosis on you to, kill yourself somehow with your flaming antlers.
Well, that'll never work.
Why not?
He's a pacifist.
Yeah, well, the
Well, you can
hypnotism-
make a pacifist
Well,
depressed
hypnotism-
easily.
Well, you'll just make him want to kill himself,
Yeah.
right? It's true suicide, like
Yeah.
depression
Right.
kind of thing, not just like a robotic
Right.
do it because I said do it. More like I'll put him into a dark place for a while,
Exactly.
let that fester.
Exactly.
Like 6 months later, he'll be like, oh, I've had enough of these antlers, and just break him off and impale himself.
Right.
All right, Bob, what are we going to do? Who are we going to give it to?
I guess we gotta give it to Dom.
Yeah, a little bit there at the
Yeah.
end. I think the depression was a dirty, dirty move,
Yeah.
but it's what put it over the top, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it was just such a
Ladies and gentlemen, Dom is back in charge of the
pacifism
news.
is such a bad thing to end
It
up
was.
with.
Yeah, it's a rough
It's
go.
a rough thing to work
it's
around.
a very rough card in
You
this
got to
game.
be really, really creative with it.
It might be one of the worst cards in this game. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's officially the worst one, but
See, I was thinking you let
What,
Dom go
pacifist?
first, and you try to get Dom to run towards you, and then you just kind of like bow your head like you're falling asleep, and he runs into them.
it was actually a pretty smart move. I don't know if he intended it, but like to have Ed go first, since his move is a non-move,
Yeah.
it comes back to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So kudos on you, you sick fuck.
Right. That's
All right,
Yeah.
you fucking maniacal
Yeah,
bastard.
The only way that the pacifist card could work at all is if someone else is moving first.
Right.
All right, so
All right, so we got.
what do we got in the news?
We got a
buddy?
bit of comics news here.
We got a little bit,
So,
bit. We might
this-
go on about this a
week.
little bit.
I think the official title of the book was Captain America, Steve Rogers #1, right?
Right. Yes.
So I picked it up. I bought it at the comic shop this past Wednesday, but I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. However,
I did.
I did.
they both did.
I stole it from Villa. I haven't
Bob
read it yet.
hasn't read it yet.
No.
But I really had no intention of buying it at all.
Okay.
I just figured it was another dumb Captain America book.
It was another number
had no interest
one.
in.
What could really be going on
Yeah, I
in
mean,
there?
once you see the shield on the cover, that's kind of how I felt.
And it's
I
like,
was
oof, new costume. That's
I
probably
was like-
the big deal.
Yeah, I immediately flashed back to the days in the van.
Well, the shield is more like this
As
shield.
the captain.
I mean, no, but that was actually the round one in that show.
It's more like the shield he used in the 40s.
He had it, well, originally he
Yeah.
had the replacement shield, and then he got another round one, but it wasn't the same as the other one, as the
that
Captain
thing's
America shield.
yeah, that thing's been replaced a couple times. But back to the newsy bit because I shouldn't have interrupted it with music. That was silly of me.
So, I had, like I said, I had no,
right,
you know,
you weren't going to really
no intention of picking it
no
up. But
rush.
I did see online on a few sites like Bleeding Cool and comicbook.com, they were saying that beware of Captain America Steve Rogers #1. If it's not on your radar, there's a big twist at the end that is really original and is going to mean a lot going forward. And so I said, fuck it, I might as well pick it up.
Sure.
Why not? It's only a $4 book.
Let me guess, Captain America changes his name to Chris Evans?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
He did that already. He did that in Captain America at 957.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So did you end up picking it up?
I
You
did.
did. You did.
I didn't read
But you didn't read it. Now this twisty spoiler got ruined for you, right?
Did.
It did. No bueno.
It hasn't gotten room for me yet.
Not yet, but it's coming. So, folks, if I've been nice enough to put the proper notations in, you might want to skip ahead to the next bit if you haven't read this issue yet. But by now, maybe it's been ruined for you because it got ruined for me too, much like Dom. So the story in this issue is that. Steve's back. Old man Steve, if you didn't know, Steve had been aged and depowered basically for a while. He was like 70 years old, but still kicking ass. Yeah, okay, whatever.
He'd actually be more like 90. but
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, obviously, if they made him his true age for his birth year, he would be dead. But, they aged him up. Whatever. So the thing is that now to undo that, which they recently did, there was a storyline and some Avengers stuff called Pleasantville. And in that, what turns out is going on, the big reveal in that story, spoiler if you haven't read that, tough titties, is that it's like a small town where S.H.I.E.L.D. has taken a bunch of villains and pretty much mind-wiped them using a cosmic cube. If you only know the Marvel movies, that's the Tesseract. And basically, not really cosmic cube as much as it's like this splinter of a cosmic cube, which is taking the form of a little girl. It's got sentience. It can do whatever it wants to do, but it's very naive, and you can manipulate it kind of a thing. By the end of the issue, she does a couple of goofy things, but one of the things that she does is she makes Steve Super Steve again. Brings back the super soldier, gives him his youth and his, his good looks, his charm, his swag. But now in issue 1 of Captain America, what we're facing is it's turned into a hook line at the end. Well, here's the thing. Let me set this up because I feel like this needs a mention. All right, so in the issue, it's Cap. He's back in action, blah, 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 blah.
Everything's great.
Everything's great.
Stop some bad guys.
Stop some bad guys. All of a sudden, though, 2 old Cap side piece characters kind of come out, wannabe Patriot characters. Jack Flag and Sally Liberty or Sally Flag, some other goofy name. And instantly I was like, oh, these two? This book was good until they brought these two into it. And it's like, why? Jesus Christ, why? And it's basically like sucks that they're in it, really, for me, because it's like it just harkens back to this really kind of rough period of Mark Gruenwald's run where it was like silly stuff.
Right.
But they mention it, they talk about it. Like at one point, Rick Jones is there and he's asking them like, "Wait, when did you run with Cap?" And they were like, "Oh, right before he was wearing the armor." Or was that before or after the werewolf stuff? And it was like, so they were kind of goofing on it a little bit, the era that they're from. Cool enough. Well, good enough anyway. So it turns out now at the end of the issue, this dude Jack Flag trying to help Cap ends up inside of this helicopter or whatever they're trying to get into to try and save Eric Lesvig, whatever his name is from the Thor movies, the scientist guy. They brought that character in. And at the last second, Cap gets in there too, and Jack's kind of been like, "Oh man, I didn't mean to fucking finish the job for you, but I did. I got that. I kicked that guy's ass or whatnot." And Steve's like, "Oh, it's great, but that sucks because now I have to basically do this." And he takes him, he throws him right outside the helicopter, and just throws him to his death, basically.
Really?
And so in the next panel, he turns around and to the doctor, he's like,
Free Spirit. That was the other character.
Free Spirit was the girl. And so now to Lessig or Eric, whatever his name is, he's tied up in the chair. He just turns around and says, "Hail Hydra." So one of the other things going on in this issue is a flashback to when Steve's mother, 1921-ish, and Steve's a little kid, and she's getting abused by her husband, and a woman in the street sees her, stops her, and helps her. And then we slowly come to find out that this woman's like really looking to help her and really kind of compliments the kid quite a bit. "Oh, your kid looks very smart and healthy, and he's going to probably be something important one day," and this kind of stuff.
Right.
Kind of telegraphing a little bit. By the end of the issue, it turns out this woman's from Hydra, and she's basically trying to recruit Steve Rogers' mother. You know what I mean? Or at very least, she passes off some papers like, "Here, we're going to have a meeting," and then she opens it up, and it's a big Hydra logo. So those two reveals time up at the end. Nice, dovetail. This has caused a furor. Literally,
Well,
on the
some
internet,
questions.
because it's raised a lot of questions. But when most people aren't really putting the pattern together, but they're taking it a little too personal. So now, what this is obviously implying is that Steve has always been a secret agent of Hydra, or is this a retcon kind of thing?
It sounds like it's going to be something where something got turned on that was asleep within him.
Well, that's
programming, Winter Soldier kind of stuff.
I think that's the way they're going to kind of play it a little bit. But I think what we're going to end up learning is the true story, and that's why no one should really be getting so bent about it.
Yeah.
Is that it's going to be because of the cosmic cube.
Well, it's also like when you think about it for 2 seconds, the idea that he's been the sworn enemy of Hydra for years, and now he's going to reveal that he's a secret operative.
Yeah,
that doesn't really add up.
It doesn't, no, because there would have been much better opportunities to be doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the online scuttlebutt, the online issue is that here you've taken a character created by 2 Jews to fight and defeat Nazis, and now here you've turned and made him basically into one. And like as much as that, yes, and that's like kind of like literally the idea here. You're like, we're doing this twist on Steve for a little bit, but they're like, you would think that this was now going to be the status quo forever, and we put a big Hydra logo on his chest, and this is the new. Like, Marvel's not touting this like when they kill a character or change a character status quo. This is obviously a storyline. Yeah. This is not going to last long. Like, even if it lasts long enough, it's going to be like undone like everything else. Yeah. Like,
right.
And like I
it
get
just
why,
it doesn't sound like anything that could ever last.
Yeah.
Like, I get why people are angry about it, because it's like, you know, I've been reading some of the tweets on Twitter over the past like few days and stuff, and people are like, you know, not exactly buying into that whole thing with like the Nazis and the Jews. Like,
right.
I couldn't possibly buy into that myself.
Right.
But the thing that kind of makes sense to me is that some little kid is going to pick this up, or somebody is going to pick up their first Captain America book, and
be like,
and at the end of it, he's going to be like, "Hail Hydra," and then that person's going to be totally thrown off and not fucking.
And maybe not want to pick up the book.
And then not want to read comics anymore.
And I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think that might, if they know enough about Captain America, that might entice them to be like, oh, what the hell is this about? And maybe want to follow up, or at least seek out more answers, and then probably go online.
That would be my reaction, in all honesty. But you know how that's how people are.
Yeah, and then well,
not that there's anything wrong with that, really, but that's just how different people.
No, I mean, I can see a couple of people, maybe a little bit, especially if you're like an outsider and you really don't know what's going on, and you'd be thinking like, well, maybe this is too confusing for me or something, or I don't get it because I, think I should be handed a little more clarity or something. Much like, some people just want like this TV show is like a little vague about shit, and they're like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, they're holding stuff back a little bit, like, and that's what's going on here. It's a storyline where they're literally setting up two big pieces up front with the mom and with Steve, two reveals. It's issue 1. It's a storyline.
Yeah,
like it's gonna show itself. You're gonna learn to reveal, and like every other one of these kinds of things where it's
right.
The good guy turns out to be bad for a while, or he's been brainwashed. In the end, you'll love him more.
Right.
Like,
I think that the bigger issue might be though that the creator is Jewish. And,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
the thing that's really fueling this.
Yes.
You know? And people who don't know or realize that issue are just kind of glossing over it that way.
And
but this is that's the big point.
Yeah. And it could be also said, because it was pointed out in another article, that, this is not quite far from what Stan Lee, a Jew, did with Captain America, where he had Red Skull basically brainwash him for a hot minute or whatever. Yeah. And, did some silly stuff. Right. It was way back in the days when everything was much more campy and silly, but it's not unprecedented completely. And you got to wonder about these people who are kind of Johnny-come-latelys who don't get so much of like the subtext that we do with comic books, especially superhero comic books, where like everything is kind of done with almost like a known temporariness, where it's like the hardcore fan bases know now going into everything. It's like, all right, this is not a change. This is a storyline. It's a goof. It's for a fun. It's a romp. It's a thing we're going to do for a while and see where it goes. Just have fun or try to take a look at a possibility of here's a what if story. Basically,
love it, man. I really like it a lot. It's good. It's what made me fucking
I think
to begin with.
I actually think it could be a good omen as to the way they're going to be writing the rest of this series. If they're going to be taking this kind of risk, if they're going to be putting this much, looking for ways to make this much drama, that's something that has been lacking at times in comic books.
And one of the things that might be going on here to follow up with another article that Bleeding Cool had up is like they're trying to figure out a little bit of what maybe might be the storyline here. So in Falcon's book and the other Captain America title, he gets kind of some innuendo and some hints that key people have been supplanted by Hydra. Like at least one person on every team is actually secretly a Hydra agent. So I think what we're doing is we're gearing up for the next big crossover where it'll be like Hydra has managed to infiltrate the superheroes now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and now we're going to have like a super team of Hydra agents.
Well, something to that effect. Or it'll be about its invasion.
It's like Millennium.
Or, an attempt of doing that.
Yeah. Millennium.
And you remember those old DC events from the 80s.
I thought you were talking about Lance Hendrickson's TV show.
No.
Good times if you like it dark.
No. It's like,
it wasn't a bad show.
It wasn't a bad show.
No.
Kids loved it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Millennium.
That was vampires, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, but
we'll get the new Guardians out of this.
Careful. But so anyway,
The new Guardians?
I think what's kind of like going on is that, it'll be a thing where, not everybody will be it'll be like Marvel's Invasion, where some of them were Skrulls, and it was like, who is who can you trust, this kind of thing.
You mean Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Not to be confused with DC's Invasion.
Fair enough. The birth of...
also, another great late 80s, early 90s
Okay. Does everything have to come back to DC?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. I see a trend. My point being that also, Invasion, that you're talking about, some of Todd McFarlane's earliest work.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the best thing to come out of that, just so you know. Chew on that. Anyway, my point.
I think that you just have to realize that, like, this is, although it's a Captain America book, which is normally, one of the top-selling books from Marvel,
right?
This is not the top-selling Captain America book.
Right.
Captain America is Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
People need to remember that. This is, and Marvel's pushing that hard. They're not. I don't even think they're going to do away with that.
Yeah, well...
Like, Captain America, the book that says Captain America on it,
right.
Sam Wilson is Captain America in this book. This book is Captain America - Steve Rogers.
And not for nothing, they also tag Sam Wilson on the cover of that.
Yeah.
Just so that it's clear for people, like,
right.
which book is which book.
Right.
And, there's speculation that maybe that's what this is going to set up, where, like, now you'll have a much more true friction between them. Eventually, when it comes to light, that he's a Hydra, you know what I mean? It'll set up a fight between them. And in the end, when it all shakes out, you'll probably end up with just Steve being Cap and Falcon. It'll end up in something where, like, I'm throwing away the suit. I don't want this mantle anymore. And rather than having it being a thing where, like, he just gives it back over, So, I mean, is there a lot more to go on about this? Not really. But what I want to do mention to wrap it up or go to the last section of this is that there's some little guy who decided to burn his copy on in a video, and I've just never been more annoyed by a show of fucking displeasure than when someone burns a book in general.
That seems like a little overkill, a little wasteful,
and more to it, a comic book. Because if you're a comic book fan, that should be like the last thing you ever do. Rip it up in half. Rip it into little pieces in front of me or on a video.
Yeah,
but when you burn it, I feel like you make a different statement.
Yeah.
I feel like when you burn it, like you are done. You are fucking done. Like, you will never read another comic book again, and nor should you, because comics were burned back in the days during all that fucking seduction of the innocent shit. And if you don't know what any of that is, look into it.
Look it up.
But they had congressional hearings. You may not know about that, kids, but they had congressional hearings
was the 50s, right?
Yep, about comic books during the McCarthyism era and all that fucking shit.
So they imposed the Comics Code Alliance. You had
censorship. That's where it all came out of. Every ratings board that exists today is because of the Comic Book Code Authority was a self-policing agency that the industry decided, in order to save themselves from being persecuted, to continue persecution, that they had to police themselves. It was the only way. And that's why ratings boards exist like they do for video games. And all these industries know that when people start knocking on the door about your content, well, then we got to put a self-policing rating system up. So you can think McCarthyism and all that shit for that, basically. Not directly, but that was the mindset back then.
Yeah, no,
so when
all
of a sudden a psychiatrist put out a book that told you the reason your kid's a delinquent is because he's reading comic books.
When the truth was that, no, it's the fact that every kid was reading comics.
Yes.
Those kids just happen to be delinquent.
To bring it back to the Nick
That is
Spencer
literally
thing,
exactly what was wrong with that whole thing.
Bring it back to the Nick Spencer thing, to just close
Fair
it
enough, yeah.
I think the irony in all of it is that, you know who else fucking burned books, man? Fucking Hitler.
Hitler. You know what? Exactly.
So,
and that was a tweet I put out. There's some kind of irony in this, that the guy is going to burn a book about Captain America becoming, a Nazi who fucking burned books. Like, I'm so anti-burning books, I wouldn't burn Mein Kampf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how it should be. You know what I mean?
You're really that upset? You want to make a statement? Use it as toilet paper. It's...
No, that's a fucking statement. Put that video up. As you're sitting there talking about it and ripping out the pages, as you sit on the bowl, have your friend slowly pull back to reveal that you're actually literally on the bowl. And then you don't even have to really be taking a shit.
I think we know how to start our YouTube channel.
That's it. First, well, there's a couple up there, but next video, maybe we'll do this. But not with that book. We'll pick something else. So that's just really all I got on that. That's my rant of the week, basically. Thank you for listening. You can go home now. Drive safe. Wait, no, we're not done. So now that I got that out of my system, What's next in the news? I hope I didn't put anybody to sleep. Besides Bobby, anyway. He was playing guitar in his sleep then, by the way, just so you know. He was noodling. He was noodling as he was dozing. That is what that means.
So we got some
stuff?
That good.
We got some movie news here.
Movie news!
So this actually comes as a surprise to me because I wasn't keen on this, but Miles Morales, there's going to be a Miles Morales animated Spider-Man film coming in 2018.
I was not either. And then Ed put this into the notes, and I was like, what?
Yeah, well, I mean, for a while it's been announced that in 2018 they're going to do an animated Spider-Man movie. But Heroic Hollywood, run by El Maimbe, formerly of Latino Review, has revealed, and this is like a rock-solid guy. This is a guy who, who breaks news left and right in terms of casting.
He's solid. I wouldn't say rock solid. He was off about Planet Hulk, but whatever. He tried to launch his video channel with the Planet Hulk scoop, but that's another story for another day.
Okay, but anyway, he's reporting that the main character in the 2018 Spider-Man animated movie will be Miles Morales, not Peter Parker.
Cool, that's fine.
And I think this is I think this is the only move because I was a little, not happy about the fact that there was going to be a fucking Spider-Man Marvel movie and then
an animated
Marvel movie,
like right up its ass,
because I knew people wouldn't understand the difference and they would be like confused.
Well, it's possible.
I think it's good to separate the two a little bit. It's almost it's not as bad originally as Flash on DC, like with
that's true.
Different actors, but I think it's good to give the other character a shot because he's never been in a movie before. So you see what the feedback is from this, and then if you want, you make a fucking Ultimate Spider-Man live action film. Yeah. Once all these other characters are all burned out.
And that's that's a great way to
well, with all the characters they've had playing Peter Parker, they might as well just go with Miles.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's
plus he comes from a different background. He's half black, half Hispanic.
Yeah, it's a whole different setup on that story. So, you got to kind of start exposing people to it anyway. I'm surprised Miles isn't actually the main character on one of the TV shows.
Yeah, I was actually expecting Miles to be the one in the movie.
Some people were. Some people weren't sure. Some people were very protective of their things. Got very nervous.
That would have been a nice way to get him in.
Yeah,
instead of just step away from Peter Parker for a while.
Yeah, kind of like that would have been like a hard reboot. A lot of people would have had some issue with that. Sadly, a lot of people would come out of the work like color issues and race and this that. Trust me, you know what I mean. Because you can't avoid that stuff because those jerks always come out when you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're always
these days, most of the time, you just ignore them anyway.
No, yeah. But the thing is
not
that
like back in the 80s when anyone and their mother wanted to swear about, something's bad for your kid. They got their they had their own podium and their own freaking channel on TV.
No, it's true. It's true. The thing that really sucks is that they get any voice at all, even if it's only the voice that's saying on the news, hey, look, those people over there are making a little bit of noise. Isn't that crazy? Let's all point at them. And it's like, yeah, but you're giving them attention too. Mm-hmm. But so anyway, this is good news. And this is coming out, when was this?
2018.
2018?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like next week.
2 years.
It's a little quick for an animated thing, but
year and a half.
I like it.
Well, I mean, they
announced
this movie like a year ago.
That's true. They could have been, now they're at a certain stage where it's going to become obvious that they're working on it. So it's like we have to make an official announcement. That's good though. That's really cool. What's up? What's up next?
Tom Hiddleston has reportedly been in talks to be the next James Bond.
T-Hiddy.
He has.
That's my boy T-Hiddy.
Yeah.
It just shuts people down. They don't know what to do with me.
Well, the other thing is. He
what do you mean the other thing? You said one.
Okay, no. But this isn't the only person that they've been meeting with.
No way.
Like also Jamie Bell.
I saw that.
Who everyone might know from
Fantastic
Four.
He was.
He was the Thing. He also stars in the AMC series Turn: Washington Spies.
Oh, there's two things I never saw.
I personally think he's a little young for that part.
For
James Bond?
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
James Bond's usually late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
I would just like to suggest, make a suggestion about someone.
We could Dreamcast. That'd be a good part of this. Okay.
Matt LeBlanc.
Okay. We're going to never Dreamcast again with Bob in the room. He's just in a Matt LeBlanc default mode ever since. Like
tomorrow, Monday starts the new cast of Top Gear.
Yeah. It's just in your wheelhouse lately.
So,
every goof actor to
his
go
mind,
to.
He's going to be on my. He's got dark hair. Well, he had dark hair. Now he dies like everybody else.
Well, maybe it is time for an American to start acting like he's English, since all the Englishmen come here and act like they're American.
Well, we just normally use them as bad guys anyway. So.
Well, you'd be surprised. Not on television. On television, like every American guy is actually an English guy.
This is true.
It's turning into.
This is true. I'm seeing a lot of that.
So I like
British or
Tim
Irish
Hiddleston
guys.
as Bond. I'm not a big Bond fan. I really haven't seen many of those movies, but
Yeah. But
If-
definitely
he
a good
definitely
point.
looks
Like,
the part.
Now, Roger Moore
He
was
might have
my
to put on
Bond.
a little bit of weight.
yeah.
Did you see The Night Manager?
I have it all on my DVR. I taped the whole season. I just haven't been able to get
It's good. And you
to
could,
watch any
you
of it.
could definitely tell like he's trying out for Bond here.
Yeah.
And it's much more of like a classic
This is-
look. Like if
This
you
is
look
Loki,
at,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he
Yeah.
do actually physical action scenes in this Night Manager thing?
he doesn't get into like physical fight
Yeah,
scenes,
no, I'm not buying it.
but it's an espionage thing. Well,
I can't buy him as the follow-up to... It's not going to work for me. As the follow-up, I can't see him doing parkour or doing smashing a
but I
sink
think-
on someone's head.
See, like the thing is, he is much more.
He's
of
too
a-
lean.
This new Bond
tall.
ain't like the old Bond. He could replace the old Bond, but now you want him to replace the current
Yeah,
kind of
he
style.
Is, he has much more of a classical look. If you
Oh,
look at
yeah.
like sketches Ian Fleming did of
What's
James
his name?
Bond
The guy. I'm sorry.
before the movies,
Right.
Tom Hiddleston,
Fits it
yeah,
much
he
more
fits-
lean
yeah.
and
Yeah.
bony and malnourished.
No, he's got some
No,
weight
he's
on him.
eating a sandwich.
In the Night Manager, you see him. He's walking around without a shirt on. He's got some meat on them bones. I think
All
it's
right.
just kind of like in comparison to Chris Hemsworth, people think.
Oh,
that he's
well,
lean.
that's true, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's lanky looking. What were you going to say about
Well,
him?
I was gonna cast actually more seriously. What's his name? The guy
Bruce
who played
Willis?
Bucky in the Captain America.
Oh, Sebastian?
Yeah.
Stan.
Sebastian Stan? I always want to call him Stan Sebastian. But, yeah, he's not bad. I think he's a little short, but I mean, I wouldn't hold that against him in any way. I mean, fuck it. I'll take Marky Mark. I don't give a shit.
Well, he's
But-
not, how short is he? I mean, Chris Evans isn't.
Well,
super-
Chris, you know what?
If we're doing an American James Bond,
Yeah.
we got to go Will Ferrell.
I think it's either Will Ferrell or The Rock.
If we're gonna go British,
we
let's go Ricky Gervais.
Right, and that's the way we do it, right? It's either Ricky, if we're going to go English, or someone like that, or even Stephen Merchant, Ricky's partner, make him Bond. And if we're going to go American, we go Will Ferrell or The Rock. I mean, that's our two actors. That's what we got left. That's what we got. They're in everything.
Who is
Yeah.
in everything?
You know, when are we going to get the Will Ferrell Rock movie? That's what I
What
want
about
to know.
Kevin Hart? You think
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart could play the gadget guy. He can play that little gadget friend.
He's Q.
Yeah, he's cute. Come on, man. Just put it in your pocket. Just put it in your pocket. Don't ask questions. Just put
Now,
it in your
maybe
pocket.
if we do the Hornet, the Hornet again, the Green Hornet,
No.
have Kevin Hart be
Kato?
He'll just talk them all into giving up.
Be like Mini Me, half Mini Me, half Kato.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, let's just. I don't know. I'm not buying Hiddleston as Bond,
I
really.
buy it. I buy it. I'm interested.
I mean, basically, yeah. But I mean, even if it's not about his size or his action skills, if it's just about coming in off of, that tone and that feel, I don't know that necessarily he works for me for that.
Well, there was also speculation.
He'd have to convince me.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, there was also speculation, and this is more fan service. I think people wanted someone like Idris Elba or David Oyelowo.
Yeah, I mean, those were names bandied about, and I think
Shia
I'd rather
LaBeouf ain't
either one
busy,
of them
you know?
than Tom Hiddleston. I got to be honest.
yeah, and Shia LaBeouf is always available.
Yeah.
Just always
Yeah.
available.
I mean,
he just wants to do it. He wants to do it.
lately he's you see pictures of him with a bag on his head saying, "I used to be an actor."
Yeah, well, while watching his own movies in a theater. So what's next on the list of news?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Is there anything next on the list?
There's one more bit of news
Uh-oh.
before we wrap that up.
Uh-oh.
And it's been reported by birthmoviesdeath.com that Mel Gibson said he almost played Odin in Thor.
Yeah, I mean, the quote is very short. It's just basically him saying, like, someone asked him, did you ever get any superhero movies offers? And I'll try that again. It's basically just him saying that someone asked if he ever got any offers for superhero movies, and he said that he almost played Thor, or that he had a conversation with him about playing Thor's dad, rather, Odin. And I don't know, I can't think of anything goofy really off the top of my head, but that movie would definitely have taken a change, I guess a little bit, probably not too much.
No,
but
Odin doesn't have a giant role in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, he's there for the most part to yell and scream a lot and
Right.
give him a hard time, and I could
Basically,
see it.
He progresses the plot. He's not someone who creates the plot.
Yeah, he definitely is not going
So-
out there and kicking ass. And, he'll be a factor in the third one. Anthony Hopkins is back for the third Thor movie, Ragnarok.
Right. Just going to be on his head on some buff CG or something.
Well, you got to remember, at the end of the last Thor movie, Loki basically, killed him. Or did he kill him, or did he just stuff him away in a box?
We don't
or
know.
something?
We don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Not quite, right?
He's just sitting on the throne, right?
Yeah, Loki's just pretending to be Odin, though.
Yeah.
That's where that leaves off.
Right.
So it's a matter of, more shenanigans from Loki. But that's
Fucking.
it's annoying, but that's
Bond.
how it goes in the comics too with the two of them. It's just Loki's
Yeah.
just never dead. He's just the ever problem. He's the ever enemy.
Yeah, I mean, this really doesn't mean anything to me, obviously. I mean,
Yeah, it's not a whole lot there. I just kind of
Plus
tossed
also
it in.
in
It was
Hollywood-
interesting.
Everyone has meetings about everything.
Yeah, that's the
So,
other thing. Yeah.
there were probably a dozen other actors that they talked to.
Yeah, and he probably was wrong. He probably doesn't even know who he was there to be because he was drunk at the time. And he probably saw someone he thought might have been Jewish and he left, probably because he was mad or something, I'm sure. Because that's,
Yeah, he probably
that's
wanted
Mel.
to be Captain America until it was revealed that
I
Captain
was
America
gonna
was
make
created
it,
by
I
a
was gonna
Jew.
go there, but I didn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't make my.
That's funny. That's funny. That he saves the Jews.
Yeah. But actually, he decided not to be involved with comic books at all because it's mostly done by Jews.
Yeah, at the very least in the beginning, in those
at
early
least-
days.
Maybe
all
he's
these
responsible
characters-
Right.
for this new.
Everyone who
Nazi
created
action.
superheroes they got a name. They're all Jewish.
Fucking Mel Gibson's calling now. Where this Chris Evans guy gets out of there. I'll be this Captain Hydra if you want to.
Yeah.
I'll sign up for that.
Hydra America.
So
That's me.
that leads us to our last segment of the show.
Last segment of the show.
Emails, which is podcast at wickedtheory.com. ladies
That's
and gentlemen. If you want to send one right to us.
I like that you did not forget, my friend. That it stayed with you even during this long and arduous and challenging hiatus that you were on.
It's attached to the doc.
Oh, okay. Then. It's right there. Oh, okay, I got you. So, Ed, usually we start with you because you write emails.
All right, I got 4 emails for you.
You got 4 emails. That means basically 4 questions, folks.
4 random questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You finished?
Oh, I was going to play that under you.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
No, forget it now.
All right, gentlemen.
I got to go pee. Forget it.
Sir,
Why haven't we seen Ryan Gosling play a superhero yet?
Next.
next. Who's he
Next.
going to... I don't know because it just probably hasn't come his way, but...
I would be surprised if it hadn't come his way yet. He's one of
Because the
biggest
Blue
actors
Beetle's
ever.
dead?
You know what? You know who he'd be good as? Who do you think? DC. Come on. Who's a good blonde DC guy?
Gold?
Smarmy. That he'd be good. Come on.
Captain Marvel?
I don't know if he could do the Flash. He could probably.
Nope.
No, you have someone in mind?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get you there. I'm going to get you there.
Who you thinking? He's thinking Green Lantern?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No. You thinking hero or villain?
Hero.
You thinking hero? Okay.
Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman?
Nope.
No, because Aquaman's taken.
Yeah.
I want to take advantage of his personality.
His personality. Green Arrow?
Nope.
That's
A personality.
Yeah.
A personality.
Well, the show Green Arrow has 0.
you're gonna have to
Yeah.
you're gonna have to give me some other kind of.
I'm
hint.
thinking a guy from the future who comes back to our time.
Reverse
Oh,
Life.
you think of Booster Gold?
Maybe Booster
Booster
Gold.
Gold.
Wow, that would be interesting.
I just said that. Didn't I say that?
Did you say that?
I think I did.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I did. You might have. Oh.
Yeah, see, like it's weird because I always think of Booster like when he's starting out, like he's just out of college. So I always,
Hey,
I always
Booster.
feel like and Gosling would obviously be too old for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm
But-
just picturing him when he gets here, when he lands. When he gets into our time and he's just dealing with his massive ego and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but no, you're right. That he would be a great choice for Booster Gold.
I think so. I
Gardner.
think generally because
Booster, actually, no.
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner might not be bad.
Yeah, so that's why
Yeah.
if it said Green Lantern, I think he would be good for that. Guy
Yeah,
Gardner.
absolutely.
Or if you wanted to go something
Good
a little
call.
deeper, maybe something like Animal Man.
Gold Star, Dom. Okay, good call. Who did you say? Aquaman?
Animal
Aqualad?
Man.
Animal Man. Wow. Maybe.
That's if you
Maybe.
want to get heavy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it would be that and Gosling might be, a little bit too much chocolate in my in my peanut butter. You know what I mean?
It's sweaty.
All
Yeah.
right, next question,
Next question, sir.
gentlemen.
Sir.
I just learned that Quentin Tarantino's original choices for Vincent Vega and Jules Winfield were Michael Madsen and Lawrence Fishburne, what kind of movie would they have made?
Probably not very different.
Now, just to refresh the listeners' memories, Michael Madsen would have been playing John Travolta's character, and Lawrence Fishburne
Do you want to clarify
would have been
that?
playing Samuel L. Jackson.
Fair enough.
There's some people who might not know the
in the
movie that
film
well.
Pulp Fiction.
In the film,
Pulp
you know,
Fiction.
and fair enough. They might have been a little. It's been a while for some people, so
Yeah.
it's like, oh wait, which character was what name? Fair enough. But I don't know, man. I don't know how much different that really would have been, man. Madsen's pretty much a one-trick pony, and Travolta. It was great for Travolta, but there was a very Madsen-esque kind of thing going on there a little bit, where it was a very kind of, shoulders kind of up and removed a little bit, where it was
Bet
like
you're a Big Lee Marvin fan.
yeah, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, I got a feeling that delivery on a lot of those things would have been ballpark.
I think so much Samuel L. Jackson in that part, those words, that voice.
And don't get me wrong, there might have been a lot of improvised kind of things that in the moment his delivery
I
is
could
what
see
does it.
Madsen, doing Travolta's role with it not being an issue.
Yeah.
If you showed me both versions, I would who I would choose. I would probably say that they would
Okay.
be equal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, but not so
I mean,
much with the
Sam
other guys.
Jackson makes that movie at certain points, and he makes the character so iconic. Obviously,
But here's the
way
thing, too.
the way he says "motherfucker."
There's a lot of
the way
things
he
though
says a
too in
few
that
things.
movie. Like I feel like some deliveries are totally Quentin. Like I feel like there are certain lines of dialogue in that movie that Quentin was like, no, say it like this, say it like this. And like they just parroted out because there are times where it's not just that even like Quentin's written it and it's in his voice. It's that like they are like mimicking his delivery and his banter almost, like his personal kind of talking style. But
Well, you definitely know that Quentin Tarantino was telling him stuff like this in reference to 70s style movies.
oh yeah.
So at the very least, if he's not telling him exactly how to say it, he's telling him, okay,
Where to
like,
kinda
you-
take it from.
to,
Right.
think like how would Shaft say something like this, or how
That's-
a
that's
character
the
from the 70s, in the classic 70s movies,
He's pulling out references they don't even know. He's like, how would Maz Mabley say this?
right?
So
Ironically,
that's kinda-
Sam Jackson was Chef.
that's true. See that? Full circle. Ed, next question.
All right, gentlemen, are there any 80s style haircuts you wish would make a comeback?
That we wish. I don't think I'd wish any of those on my worst enemy. I don't think I'd put a Jerry curl haircut for a guy on Hitler. I mean, that's just not nice.
Yeah, mullets can say goodbye too, I think.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They've just never gone away, really, it seems like.
No,
They
there
went
were
to
some people-
Canada,
no,
they
'cause-
went north, but then they came back down.
Well, there are some people who see the benefit and the utility of the mullet. They
So
like
you-
to have the length in the back,
to block the wind.
but they need shorter hair for work, so they need it out of their hair. They're going to get they're going to end up with a mullet.
You only get that
It's
caught
just-
up in the carburetor once before you realize you got to trim that.
Yep.
Yeah, I see. But
When
80s
you're out
haircuts.
cutting trees, man, you can get kind of pulled into your chainsaw.
Nah, but I'll tell you, the only thing that popped in my head really was the Jerry curl thing that boys were doing in the 80s when I was young,
Yeah.
7th, 8th grade. It was just a trend, like cool kids, Captroversy wearing kind of cool kids. Out here in Staten Island, it was a trend for a while, and I watched like several of the kids I used to hang out with all the time start doing it, and I'm like, you guys all look like...
They're the biggest.
just
I mean,
sissies.
it
It's
looks
not
bad on a
working.
black person that to put on a white guy. It's just like,
Well, if your
no,
hair is
it's just
naturally...
wrong.
Well, you know what it is? If on Tuesday, all of a sudden your hair is doing that, it's quite a change on anybody. Whether it's a girl doing her hair up into curls or, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or anybody. But then it's there, and it's there for a while
Right,
on a
but,
guy, and
you know,
it's
the
less
point
like
that-
not
yeah.
working.
But
You know?
the point of the Jerry curl was to loosen up those tight curls. So
Yeah, no.
if you're putting it in relatively straight hair, you just look like you have greasy hair.
No. I mean, like, I'll take that back. Did I say Jerry curls the very first time?
Yeah.
Perms.
All right, perms.
Perms.
Well,
Wow,
that's
that
just-
was I was very off on that, I
There's a
think.
difference. I was going
Oh,
to
a
say,
big
I
difference.
didn't think...
Yeah, white kids can't
white
really
kids-
do.
I just
Jerry
don't
curls.
picture. I don't picture white kids wearing Soul Glow.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Follow the drip. Follow the drip.
Okay.
So glow. But that's all right. Bad on me because actually, when you started saying Jerry curls back to me, I was going to let it go because I was like, maybe Bob's misinterpreting something I said. But no, you interpreted it correctly.
Yeah.
I was just an ass and didn't realize what I said. But anyway, it was perms. All the guys were getting fucking curly perms.
Yeah, I remember
And,
when I was a kid, Aunt Tina wanted to practice her perms on me.
Oh,
so she did it. She did it with water. She didn't use the chemical.
Okay.
She used it. Well, she did it with me with water. I was like 9, people,
Okay.
so don't laugh too hard, please.
No,
But,
I am. But go on.
So for about 20 minutes, I had a perm.
For 20 minutes. Oh, if I only had a picture in that 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's hardly any pictures of me anywhere.
Thank God for that too. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. But I can't.
Break, you know.
It's crazy. So Ed,
right.
one more.
Last question for this week,
Okay,
gentlemen.
sir.
Should Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin be a part of Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting. I mean, if it truly is a, the TV and the movie world are linked, and it seems like, the Netflix movies are much more linked than S.H.I.E.L.D. is to the Marvel movies, then why not? D'Onofrio's a fucking he's a screen actor. I mean, he's a film guy. That's where you stole him from. Why not? Are they going to do it? It doesn't seem like it. I think there was buzz this week. People were throwing that question around. And, I think he shot it down, at least at this stage. That they.
I just saw one headline. I didn't read up on it.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of like, well, they really haven't approached me about that or anything, so I don't think that's going to happen. I think was the gist of it.
Yeah.
But hey, I want to see him somewhere else. I'd love to see him in this Punisher show when it happens. Love to see him back on Daredevil. I don't want too much of him on Daredevil because I'm afraid they're going to burn him out. Mm. And also, too, with D'Onofrio, I could see him kind of being a guy who's like, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if I want to do it anymore.
But they're going to have Kingpin in the storyline, right?
In which one?
In the Spider-Man movie.
I don't think so. Not outright, anyway. Okay. I mean, they might have a cameo or something like that, maybe.
All right.
But
if there's a Kingpin character, it's got to be him, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because Marvel now has tied it up so much that it's one universe.
Don't make the same mistake that DC is making with this, by not tying these things more directly.
Well, that's the thing.
Because they're not going to have Grant Gustin as the Flash in the Flash movie.
You're right. It's going to be a whole separate
supposedly
universe.
Because they don't think he could last in the movie, but it's an ensemble movie.
No. It's a different universe. That's what it is. So for them, it's about casting a whole different actor.
They don't want to tie the movies to the TV shows. They don't want to be bound by that continuity.
But conversely, though, the thing is with Marvel is that now that they've said that that's how it is, start showing it more. Start doing it a little bit more.
Right. That's what we're expecting.
Right. Because that's what the whole point of it is. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying you got to have somebody on S.H.I.E.L.D. every week. Yeah. But you were making a thing to have somebody on like once or twice a season, a little bit more often.
But it feels more like the TV is reacting to the movies and not vice versa.
Right. Because the girl who plays Chloe had recently just kind of came out and she was all calling Marvel out a little bit. Someone must have asked her a pointed question, so she had to answer it. But it was like, it would be nice if, we were more than just a name or a passing reference tied to these things, And I think she means more than just actually having like a guest appearance by a character, too. It's nice that you have Sif come from the Thor movies to hang out with us for an episode. But it's just an episode. You know what I mean? And it's just one character. As cool as she is, she's not one of the main guys. And obviously that'll take some working. But look, Marvel's got a lot of work to do with S.H.I.E.L.D.
S.H.I.E.L.D. could definitely benefit from some cameos.
S.H.I.E.L.D. could benefit from having the writers' room just up and quit, and we get a whole new talent in there. But I'm not in charge.
All right.
When are we going to write our episode?
That's it for me.
That's it for Newsies?
No, that's it for Ed Mails.
See, I can't keep track anymore. I'm losing my mind.
We still got a 2-page Steph mail or something like that.
It's probably something like that. But here's the thing, buddy.
Because I told Steph, no, go ahead, write as long as she wants on Twitter, and she was
so I'm gonna put
very
this out
happy
there.
for that.
Bob is not officially allowed to do that.
I did mention to her you like to talk. So
that's true. That's why I have a podcast.
Go ahead and write them as long as you want.
I don't like to read.
I was going to say if you're not so hot about it, I would be willing to read for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But
you did well last time.
Yeah, last time I burned right through it. She was even amazed. She was like, "Wow, you really went through that pretty quick." And I was like, "Yeah, I was expecting to stumble on that a little more." So before I go further into the emails, what I'd like to read real quick is our buddy Don McIntyre's email, because he actually was writing to us about like, hey.
Oh, Donald.
Not
Dom.
Right, this is Donnie Mac.
Donnie.
Donnie!
Previous guest on the
What
show.
up, Don?
So he just wanted a real quick
Guest
thing.
and
He just
friend.
wanted to talk about the Captain America thing that we just actually spoke about.
Right.
It'll be short and sweet. He throws us a link, but basically he was like, "What the shit?" And then, what are your thoughts on it? But we kind of covered that a little bit. So what
Yeah.
I will do now for Don is I will go back into the emails and read the email that I was supposed to read from him on the episode that he was here.
Right.
That I forgot to read.
That's
so to give you
right.
context on this, folks, he came on our show that week. He's a friend of mine and all, but he had already sent us an email on Monday. I didn't know about it because I don't go into emails that early in the week and
so
check.
we basically skipped that email.
Well, what had happened was I invited him on the show without knowing he had written an email that week. Finally writing
Right.
this particular email, which... So it's ironic that I ended up inviting him because he sent us a very nice email. So this is that email from way back in the beginning of May 2nd, to the fine scholars at the Wicked Theory podcast. Before I go to the actual subject matter of this email, I would just like to say to Bill, Dom, Bob, and Ed, you guys knock this whole podcasting thing right out of the park. It's easily the most entertaining thing I listen to or watch all day, and I know once I finished binge listening, is that even a thing, to your show, I'm going to fiend for new episodes like a junkie looking for his next fix.
Good. So now we can start charging him.
Yeah, exactly. First one's free. And the actual...
Thank you, Don. This is very nice of you.
So this actually brings us to the serious stuff. Bill, I feel like such a cockwomble. This is where I start using various British terms and curses to describe myself. I feel like such a cockwomble for not listening to your podcast sooner and for not writing into you guys just to say what's up and to ask some philosophical questions that need answering. If you could ever find it in your heart to forgive a wank stain like me, it would make me the happiest wicked theorist, trademark and copyright, on the planet. Humbly yours, Don. And Don, thank you.
Really, that's awesome.
And,
awesome email.
You know, in all truth, I wish I could say that this email triggered me to invite you on, but I invited you on because I liked you anyway. So, and that's the truth, Ruth. So, Don, we look forward to having you back. Or as Ask a Ninja used to say, I look forward to killing you soon. So, if anybody remembers that from the early aughts. Nope. Ask a Ninja. Whatever happened to that guy? Nobody?
Nope.
Okay, no, it's fine. All right, so Ed O'Hare's emails are done. Bill got silence. And then, so I'm going to skip past the emails for Preacher versus Preacher. Ooh. Those are loading up. And then we're going to go into... Steve Martinez and Irina, unknown last name.
Steve and Arena.
Steve and Irina. So they don't share one mind, but they do share one email. So I'll put it like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. Hey everybody, what's happening? His subject line is planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh, wait, hang on. Should we just, ask Dom all the grim questions that they've been sending us for the past few weeks?
Well, you're probably going to get some grim finale questions next week then, because Steph wanted to ask you something, basically your opinion of it, and planes, trains, and automobiles driver over here, Steve Martinez and Irina, I think they had some follow-ups. But we're going to wait. Don't give it to me now. Cool. So here's the questions. John Candy or Chris Farley movies? Pick them.
John Candy for me.
Yeah, I think you go by scope and breadth.
And number of movies, actually.
Yeah.
John Candy kind of
if you're going to put it in layman's terms.
Well, scope and breadth, I didn't think layman's terms. I thought automatically cinematic. I'm like, what's filmed like a spaghetti western?
There are two different types of comedic actors, too.
Fair enough.
I mean,
sure.
Chris Farley's all about look at me goof around,
slapsticky kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And John Candy, he's more of a finesse comedian.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, he might have been a little bit more like that way in the beginning.
But
even not very much. No, because he came out of SCTV.
Yeah,
and
he
all
was
that.
more of SCTV. He was more like Saturday Night Live.
He's Canadian. They don't do that shit. They don't do pratfalls.
Even just his moments in the Blues Brothers. Orange whip, orange whip, orange whip, 3 orange whips.
There you go. Wow, I forgot all about that one. I got a feeling Dom might say Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of people who wear their sunglasses on the back of their heads upside down? I really don't. I do always kind of think my head doesn't allow for that for whatever reason. I've tried to put the sunglasses behind my head or whatever, facing out just as a goof, and they just slide right off.
That's because you don't have the $400 original glasses. You have the $20 Chinese knockoffs.
$20. Jeez, that's giving me some credit there.
All right,
You know
for
what I
the
mean?
$5 Chinese knockoffs.
I just steal that shit because I'm not paying for it. No, yeah, they're $5 knockoffs. But also, too, I don't have the right shape head, I think, is what it is for that particular trick.
Not enough brain in your cranium to hold the shape. Probably. maybe.
Probably.
What's the use? What's the purpose?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's nice to have them out of your way, but
Rain catcher?
Then why do you have them in the first place?
there you go. Why can't you just hang them off your shirt like everybody else?
Unless they're for the eyes in the back of your head. They should be
Or
facing
just
forward.
leave them in your glove compartment.
You're just going to grease them up even more. I think probably put them on the back of your head where your hair, like your sweaty hair or whatever, is going to be touching the lens. Not going to be all like oily or sweaty looking. So question number 3 is please address all of the CW superhero finales if you haven't done so already, which we really haven't.
No, we've just been. We haven't.
I'm going to let Ed and Dom.
A lot went on, at least in Flash.
Yeah, all 4 of us will kick around Flash, but I'll let Dom and Ed kind of.
Do you want to start with Legends of Tomorrow?
I stopped watching that.
So Ed, you can give us a quick rated or tell us the ending. It's Legends of Tomorrow. We're not too worried about it.
Spoilers.
Yeah, how did it end?
They defeated Vandal Savage.
Okay, for
Okay.
good?
Really?
Yeah.
Like
or it seems so. It's
comic book stuff.
They killed him 3 times in 3 different time periods.
So that should do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're about to go off on their next adventure, and then another Wave Rider stops them, and a guy that they don't know walks out and says, if you get in that time machine, you will not live.
Okay.
You're all gonna die. Who are you? I'm Rex Tyler with the Justice Society of America. And then, everyone back at home is going, huh? Except for all the DC fans who are going, oh my God, it's Our Man.
Oh, the guy who's in charge of time.
Yep.
Yes.
And appointments.
Well, it depends on which of the 3 or 4 different versions of Our Man they're going with.
That's true. Okay, so that was a cool reveal that worked well for you.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the show. I think that show, it had its ups and downs.
Did they kill anybody off? Didn't they kill somebody off?
Well, see, like they kill people and then they bring them back
Yeah,
because
it's
it's time.
time.
It's time
Yeah.
travel. So it was kind of like they. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So how about Arrow for you guys? Because you both watched Arrow.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
I love how the mood just dropped.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm sorry.
no,
Arrow. I have such a love-hate relationship with Arrow season 4.
Okay.
Season 4.
Yes, season 4.
They did a few things this season that were just so campy and were so not like the show's self. If you know what I mean. If you watch the show, I think you kind of understand my drift there. I think, and I think Stephen Amell has pointed this out once or twice on Twitter also, that the show suffered a little bit this year because I keep wanting to say Kreisberg, but it's not Kreisberg.
Berlanti?
Not Berlanti.
Guggenheim.
Guggenheim is one of the head writers in the writers' room for that show over the past 3 seasons, and he apparently didn't do much work on the show this year. He focused a lot on Supergirl.
Okay.
So I think the show definitely suffered because of that. I don't, aside from the fact that I watch Flash and I like being involved in the CW superhero verse,
Right.
that was the only thing that was keeping me watching it. Just aside from loving the show previously and knowing that, or not knowing, but wanting it to get better.
Right.
Was the only thing that held me on the show.
Yeah. So.
I think Damien Dark was a weak villain for the season. I think they dragged him out too long.
Definitely.
And I think maybe if they start going half season arcs with the big baddies instead of trying to squeak out 22 episodes. And there were certain points. There were some episodes where he didn't show up at all, and they just had another villain of the week, and it was just kind of like which one are you going to do?
Well, it gets hard. I think for Flash too. I think what happens with Flash too, and I don't know if Legends can fall into that trap. But I get the feeling that it's probably like this thing where it's like we got 20 fucking some episodes to do. How can we possibly drag out? You know how much more they would drag out Damien Dark if they didn't do those fucking stories? You'd really be like, oh my god, milking this fucking thing. So it's like you're right. They probably should just break the seasons into like half as far as the baddies go, or do a slower burn with the big bad guy. You know what I mean? Right. And have some kind of like other bad guy that we're really kind of working on, and the other guy's like in the shadows more, or being hinted at. You play it kind
of like Zoom,
ominously.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what?
Zoom.
Yeah, to a degree. You know what I mean? And even that's getting a little tired. So let's do that. Let's jump into Flash real quick. So spoiler warning again, because we're going to give it all away here. If you haven't watched it yet. So Barry basically saves the day. Yet again.
Yeah.
And the show's over.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to do now, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's it.
That's it. No reason for the Flash to exist anymore.
When you go back in time for a third time to save your mother, and you do it right, you reboot the whole timeline to create the TV show. Basically, you don't need a TV show.
Come on,
well, that's
man.
it. Next week it's just gonna be Barry. It's gonna be it's next month season. It's just gonna be the Barry show.
You don't know what future he's going back to.
That's true.
They should start the next season with like a pseudo Seinfeld opening.
Like, what do you mean?
Like it would be like, instead of Seinfeld, it'd be like Barry, and
it's just a whole new logo.
Right, whole new logo. It's like his apartment, right. The whole 9 yards.
All that stuff.
They can hang with the diner.
I mean, I don't really have that much hatred towards the finale in terms of like it
improved versus the season.
Yeah, but with that said, I'm kind of bummed out that they did that thing with his mom.
Yeah,
where they say, because I kind of always imagined that when they did that last season to be like one of the last things that happens on the show, or like at the end of the show, like whatever.
Right,
to wrap up.
8th season, like to wrap up and like get Barry to, I guess feel better about himself. You have that be the last thing that happens, and then
that would have been good,
then
because
that's it.
And then
He's
you don't
not the
know.
Flash. It never happened.
No,
or he even goes back to the Flash, but you never see the alternate line. Go ahead.
But you don't see like has anyone here read Flashpoint?
No, yeah, we're all familiar. I mean,
Okay.
Bobby maybe not so much, but we're familiar.
All right.
Ed, we're playing with it.
I'm not saying that that's what the case is going to be on the show, where he's not going to be the Flash anymore, or that he's never going to become the Flash.
I think what would be interesting is
they could have done that in an alternate ending of the show, and I would have been okay with it.
I can see that actually being a nice, interesting last move.
Right.
Like, I never would have considered that. Like, you do the whole thing, and like, yeah, maybe he does go back to his regular timeline, but that's the end of the series, kind of a thing. That wouldn't have been a bad send off. But what they're actually doing is what Ed's about to lead into.
Yeah,
this is our theory. Yeah,
whatever he comes back to, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
definitely gonna be a thing where he's got to be the only guy who knows, except for one other person we'll find about episode 5, because he's got to talk to somebody, and then what's changed, what's the same, what's different. Eventually he'll realize that he has to go back and change it again, and that there'll be 9 Barrys in that same room at the same time, but all from different phases of his life. It's just it's the problem with time travel, man. When you make it's so easy like that. Well, here's the thing. What I did like was that.
But how does he go back again? Because now, how do you go back to something that now doesn't ever existed?
Well, that's the thing too. Well, whoa, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, you got to go back and then you got to stop yourself from beating him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it never happened. His mother never died.
Yeah.
So how do you go back to save his mother from dying if his mother never died?
It didn't completely erase Eobard going there, though. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't completely erase everything, but it does erase the event. Here's the problem, though. You're going to tell me eventually that Barry's mother living changes the world? That's what I didn't like about Flashpoint. Like, the Flashpoint in the comic books, like, it basically follows a very similar thing where Barry goes back to save his mother again and does it right this time. And what it does is it causes a splintering in the universe, not so much that he saved her, but that he went back in time again. And I think that's what does it.
Yeah, but also, like, in the comics, it wasn't... He changed that, but him changing that allowed Reverse Flash to go back and change a bunch of other things.
Okay.
It wasn't just like that one action caused everything else to happen.
Well, that's the thing I had trouble buying for the most part, because at least in the cartoon, and I kind of felt that a little bit coming out of some of the comic stuff related. Bobby's having a snack cake. And then... So that was the kind of thing where I was like, okay, she's going to affect Batman's life. You know what I mean? She's going to affect every single aspect of society. So it's like, how deep do you want to go with this on a TV show? Because it's one thing to have Barry now have his parents back, because that's what he gets. He doesn't just get his mom back out of this. He gets his dad back. So if you thought you were going to lose John Wesley's ship because we designated him now to go to another planet.
But by the way, his whole storyline at the end, I really enjoyed that.
It was all right. It was a nice nod. I felt it was superfluous and really didn't mean anything, and it was kind of a waste because what you did was you set up something that we knew was going to happen. You can't fool us as the fans, as the readers, because we all kind of called that. Like, ultimately, it became very obvious that the only reason to have the mask on him is because he knows who that is. So that means the chances are, because we're dealing with multiple worlds, that it's a copy of somebody he knows. And then he does this tapping code that Barry's like, oh, my daddy taught me that code. And then for like another 9 episodes, we don't touch base again. Mm-hmm. So those hints, which they thought were very vague, were not as vague as they thought.
Well, you know, but it was also, I was hoping he was the man in the iron mask. And
I kind of knew it was going to be him for a little while, though. Mm-hmm. Like, I saw it coming, you know. And I don't know if that took away from the reveal at all, but I was thinking, like, would it mean anything if it was anyone else?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Because like, it meant something still when we didn't know that Jay Garrick wasn't, like, that Teddy Sears, the actor, wasn't playing, like, his character wasn't Jay Garrick after all.
Right.
So, like, I thought maybe it could have been another version of him.
Yeah.
Or like another version of that Barry, maybe, or something.
I was expecting.
But once you knew that it wasn't going to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be Teddy Sears as Jay Garrick. Mm-hmm. Then I kind of knew that it had to be him. Like, who else would it be for it to really mean anything to the viewer?
And I felt like for it to mean anything at all, but still have the face obscured, because it was like there's no real tangible reason to have the face obscured other than keeping it a secret for a secret's sake. Like, you know what I mean? If it was somebody that he had never seen before, then we wouldn't have felt inclined to put the mask on him. And the other thing I have a bone to pick, too, is, like, you never find out what Zoom's, like, real plan was for keeping him alive and for keeping him around. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I guess he was, like, some kind of fail-safe plan of fail-safe plans that he never pulled a pin on.
Well, it's just he wanted his speed, and he wanted to be the fastest man alive, so he took him out. That's really what it was.
But he didn't take him out. He pulled him out of the speed. He pulled the speed out of him, but kept him alive. This is a guy who puts his hand vibrating through people left and right and kills them off. You know what I mean?
He was kind of a trophy. That was really his purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe
because he was like, I took Jay Garrick's personality, I took his name.
Yeah.
So I'm like to have that Jay Garrick here is like my trophy.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of fan service to John Wesley's ship. I feel like it's a way to get him to be the Flash again later on in episodes where we can have the Flash, because he turned out to be from Earth 3, have him come back and play, Sandbox.
Well, now Barry will probably end up, using him as a pseudo dad to make himself heal.
Well,
after watching his own dad die.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that's what that was kind of. It could serve to that too, but I have a feeling his dad's going to be alive now. When he goes back to the future, he's reset everything.
Right.
His dad's probably going to be alive.
All right.
But
never went to prison.
Yeah. I got a feeling the whole thing too with that whole mask was they might have had a couple of different ways it could go, and they settled on this in the last stages of the game, and that's why the reveal and like nothing happens to it. It's pretty much like, okay, we got you out. See you later. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's nice to meet you.
It's nice you get to see him in that suit.
That's what I mean. It's like a fan service thing. It doesn't hold a lot of story.
And you know what? I was a fan, and I felt properly serviced.
I felt uncomfortable. I felt like that was the most ill-fitting costume I've seen in comic book movie adaptations in a long time.
Yeah, that I did think that costume.
Did this guy lose weight? Did he shed like 65 pounds? Is that why that thing looks like? Or they had it padded badly. Like I think they were trying to give him some form and shape, and it didn't really work out.
Yeah.
Basically, because he looked like the skinniest, average build guy the whole time in that cell with that mask on.
Right.
And now
he's a walking billboard.
You know what I mean? Like he plays for the Detroit Lions or something.
And right away, the first line they said is, "The suit looks good on you."
Yeah, sure. They're all like, "No, yeah, it looks good. No, it looks good. It doesn't make your ass big look at all." Oh. I got that backwards. Okay, so back to the email because that's what we were doing. Question number 4. Your favorite park on the island? Getting real local on this one. Shame on you if you don't have one. My favorite park is Westerly Park. Grew up in that park. That's all I can say about that.
Well, yeah, Westerly Park. You got to make sure you're actually talking about parks that are actual parks on Staten Island because former Mayor Bloomberg went around and anything that had wooded areas that wasn't already designated a park and cleared and made a park, They just put a sign in front of it and call it a park.
Yeah, that's fine. That's basically.
And then they were able
what
to
they were
say
doing
Staten
for-
Island, is the borough of parks.
That's what they do at every park, though.
No, not.
I mean, not any like little 6-inch
No,
by
I'm
6-inch
talking about-
area that you're
There's
talking about.
a 1-block area of woods. They put a sign in front of it to call it a park.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
the only reason there are trails there is because people walk through the woods.
yeah.
It's not like they made it a park.
No, I hear that too. But so, what's your favorite?
Westerly.
Okay,
We
very
grew up
good.
there. That's got to be my
That's
favorite.
like a block away from our house.
I go by my local one, Von Briesen.
Von Briesen Park, where we have all the meetings. What about you, Dom? Favorite park? Maybe some.
That's where the
local?
hydro meetings are.
If we're talking, because I think there's 2 different types of parks, right? With like, like a schoolyard type park,
Yeah.
or like a
Well, there's the ones that are just like strictly woods.
right.
You know what I mean?
Great Hills
we're
Park for that
trails.
one.
We're not talking about a playground. We're talking about
Right.
a park.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
even
that-
Westerly Park is very. It's
got both.
It's like mostly path and gazebo,
Yeah.
as opposed to actually having a whole lot of trees in it. But
Yeah. So probably Great Hills Park.
Great Hills,
It's right
that's a
by
good
where
one.
I grew up too.
Good
So
one. I hear it's great for the kills.
it is.
It's a great place to do that.
Just very few. Some guys I used to know, they used to do some kills down there.
Nice, Bob. You should bring those guys on the show.
Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe I don't know nothing.
Maybe that's the best way to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so oh my God. Okay, so these 2 are bird watchers. I don't know if anybody knows that. I just recently found this out. They kind of like do some bird watching. So, what's your favorite bird? And then, what's your favorite bird part to eat? So it's kind of like, what's your favorite dog?
I think we should have answered one of those first before we asked the second one.
So my favorite bird, I guess,
The bald eagle.
as an American, I have to default to the New York City pigeon. No, definitely
You
not.
mean the feathered rat?
No,
Yeah.
the feathered rat. It's got feathers.
Rats with wings.
That's it. Good feathers. What? Anybody want to jump in? Favorite bird?
I definitely don't have one.
There you go. My favorite bird is Big Bird because he's a big bird.
My favorite bird is a roasted chicken.
There you go. Okay, roasted chicken. That's pretty good.
Rosemary roasted.
I like grilled chicken. Nice grilled chicken.
Grilled
Maybe a
chicken.
little too blackened. I love it. All right.
I would say cardinal.
Cardinal. There you go.
Yeah, just
Delicious.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah,
What do you
they're
like?
very tasty.
What do you like? The beak.
Yeah, they're best on a skewer.
I like the feet. I can eat and pick my teeth at the same time.
Well,
Okay.
favorite,
The
favorite,
teeth are a rare, rarity.
Well, favorite part of the bird to eat. That was the second question, right? So I'm a breast man.
Breast man. So question number 6. What school do you think is the most uppity on the island? School spelled SKOOL.
Uppity.
Uppity. I don't know. I only went to the schools I went to. I would.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was gonna like rush judgment, I would say something on the North Shore, or on the South Shore, because if
That's the only
whatever's
places
diametrically
on the
whatever's
Yeah.
diametrically opposed to where I live. That's just how we do it on Staten Island. The most annoying place to live is the place that I don't live. Like, you know what I mean?
I'd say any school where all the kids have $80 haircuts and spray tans.
I'd say St. Francis School because they get their lunches at McDonald's. The school lunch is basically catered by McDonald's. There's like 25 kids in that school, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
that closed actually.
yeah. Oh, did it shut down? Shiesty, probably. I had a friend who went there. He was annoying as hell, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
can't
know.
really answer.
I'd
that.
say something where it's a private school, probably. That's usually right. I mean, not to try and throw anybody on the bus in any way, but that's usually how that goes, right? Okay.
Steve, which one do you think is the most
Oh,
snooty,
they'll tell you.
snobby?
Oh, they'll tell you, Bob. Don't you ask. All right, question number 7. Have you ever watched any episodes of the Adam West Batman? Favorite Adam West Batman moment? Ours is when he hits 3 bad guys, the Joker, the Penguin, the Riddler, with a double-fisted punch and knocks all 3 of them down. And that's why I hate that show. Because even as a 7-year-old, I was like, this is just ridiculous. Adam West.
that show.
The Bat-Tutsi.
Yeah, it was definitely a love-hate relationship for me with that. It was like, I liked it for a while, and then like
You get some creative villains on that show.
it's only one season, so you run out of episodes, and you start to like really realize how fucking, well, for me anyway, it was starting to be a torturous event. And I just, I was a little too serious about comic books at the time when I was a kid. So all the zap, pow, bam, and headlines and articles and that's why no one takes it seriously because of that fucking show. And I still kind of feel like that a little bit. Like a lot of the stigma that comic books carried, is the era from when we were burning them, mentioned earlier, and the Batman 66 TV show. So I will put Dr. Frederick Wortham and the Batman 66 TV show on the same level of detrimentality to the industry. But that's me. But for a lot of people, that show is fucking aces. And I hear that the Batman 66 comic is actually like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and it pokes fun at itself, and it's all that.
You got to take it for what it is. That show's meant as a comedy. It's meant as kind of like a goofy farce.
And don't get me wrong, still to this day, one of my favorite lines is, "Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb."
Yeah.
That's just the truth. It's just the truth.
Yeah. But you have some great villains on that show. You got King Tut. You got Egghead.
Yeah.
Roddy McDowell's Bookworm.
Now you were going to mention great villains, I thought.
False Face. They couldn't do Clayface.
Right.
But so they just put a guy in a mask and say he's False Face.
Why though? Why couldn't they do Clayface?
Well, that would have been over budget.
Yeah.
$5 for a mask.
Yeah, true.
Or actually, night day, 69 cents for a mask.
Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of like, you want to do the special effects for that? For a guy who's going to turn into
I don't
clay?
think they had special effects like for that kind of thing back then.
Yeah, that's true.
That didn't really happen until after Planet of the Apes.
Also, everyone wants a trip, go pick up, there's a nice prestige format issue of Batman 66 where they did Harlan Ellison's episode of Two-Face that was never produced.
Right,
because in the end they decided that Two-Face was a little too
scary.
Mm-hmm.
They could have dialed that down. But if you dial it down, basically he becomes half Joker face. So it's like it doesn't really work too much. All right, so Tom, you're a big fan of that too, though, right? I mean, didn't you watch a bit of it? Oh, your dad is, so we used to be on for a little while.
I've seen some of it, but not really too much to.
Same time.
You will
channel.
Right. Abstain is the
abstain.
Very good. So they kind of wrap it up by saying, even though this is technically from the two of them, it says I would not object to being on the Wicked Theory. I promise to speak into the mic. That's nice to know. I didn't invite you, but whatever. That's all for this weekend. You guys enjoy your MDW.
Memorial Day weekend.
No, it's not capitalized. So, but this is coming from a guy who spelled school SKOOL.
Oh, I think also we were ragging on him a little bit. Whenever he's on WCBJ, he doesn't tend to talk into the mic.
That's all. Yeah. He's definitely way back away.
Maybe that was massively destructive weapons.
Yeah. Okay. I'll enjoy those. Enjoy your massively destructive weapons, Stephen.
I mean, that's 4th of July coming up.
My Dirty Wang. Maybe. I don't know. Like it could be a lot of things.
Morgan D. Wincock.
That's Ed's stage.
So do we have any more emails?
Yeah. All right. Shit. This show's running long. All right. I'm going to burn through this fucker. All right. I was pre-warned. To the podcast of Wicked Theory, who have somehow lost a member of their crew. We found him. It's graduation time across all kinds of campuses. Of all the commencement speeches I've seen floating around the interwebs, Hank Azaria, bringing with him his briefcase full of Simpsons characters, is near the top of this year's list. But for you guys, if you were or could be in charge of your own commencement or whatever, I don't know, the Wicked Theory Institute of Technology, who would you invite to send off the graduating students?
Oof.
Yeah. From this show, like who would you want to? I guess let's water it down a little bit. Who would you want to see a commencement speech from? Live.
Homer J. Simpson.
All right, it's good. It fits exactly what I was going to say. Live, dead, or fictional. Who do you want to see give a commencement speech at a college? Who would be?
Roger Rabbit.
All right, you got that's 2 now for you.
Come on, I can come up with 100 of them.
And they seem to be fitting a pattern.
Stephen King.
Oh, there you go. He does give good commencement speeches. I've seen a couple of his. His are good.
Kevin Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
anybody
gonna
else?
I would say
Kev?
The Lex Luthor portrayed by Sherman Howard on The Adventures of Superboy.
Only you.
Obscure.
Only you. Only. That's a good one, though. I mean, that's digging deep. I like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it for digging deep. Louis?
Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Louis would
That's
be
good.
good, though.
Who?
Louis. I would take Louis.
Louis would be good. I was just throwing Louis to you as a nickname, but Louis C.K. would probably be pretty good.
You know,
Jeff
think he's
Goldblum.
I always think it's hysterical when they get people who did go to college.
Yeah,
Or
and then they
dropped
can,
out of college.
like
to give
Kermit the
convincing
Frog.
Speeches. Yeah.
Like when Kermit the Frog gives one, I basically would probably want to throw my degree out the fucking window and be like, this is how I wrap up the year. I mean, I love Kermit, but seriously.
Let me explain to you how your parents just wasted $140,000.
Can we get a commencement speech from the guy who does the voice of Kermit? Maybe he's got a story. I bet you he's probably actually got a real story.
Instead of just a fictional story for a frog.
I mean, he's
Hi-ho.
been dead for 23 years.
You know, when you're growing up in the swamp, it gets kind of crazy. You know, I don't need that for fucking 25 fucking minutes. All right. For me, I would say if we're doing it live, dead, or fictional, I think Satan. I think the real deal Satan, not your friend Satan, but the devil himself. You know what I mean? Why not? Right? I mean,
Yeah, it's going to motivate a class of people ready to go out into the world.
I think he'd have some
devil's gonna,
warnings to
look
give.
at them and go, I'm going to take your souls!
You'd be like, no, you guys are already indebted to the college, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not getting it from you.
Maybe that's why he wouldn't do it.
You mean the one from the TV show Lucifer?
No, I said the devil. I meant like the real deal devil, Ed, the one that you were afraid of. Like, I mean, like him. I mean, you know, I got a feeling that, you know, he would have some decent advice, and no one would listen to it because they would be afraid that it's the devil. He couldn't possibly be trying to be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But that's his thing. He knows you're not going to listen.
Right. Actually, I was just thinking maybe his commencement speech would go like this. Thank you. I now own your souls.
Yeah, it sounds like the same bit.
Just basically, you know, you have this debt. Now that's basically how I own your souls.
You didn't realize you were going to Satan Academy is pretty much what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So, by the way, this is Agent Palmer's email. I totally forgot to make that officially known. Thank you, sir. So for your consideration, may I offer an excerpt from a commencement speech I've just made up right now. As I look out over the tops of these graduation caps, I realize that you're either furiously live tweeting this speech or most likely playing games and texting the person sitting next to you.
That's how most of them start.
So he says, stop it. The world will pass you by while you stare so intently at the screen that is in front of you. You may not see the golden opportunity that stands before you. If you're staring at the pixels that you're so addicted to, then again, it might be a train or a bus. So maybe it's better not to see. So no, look up, get out of the way. Stop staring at the pixels. You have accomplished that of which others have before. And as one of those people, I can't tell you it won't be getting any easier for most of you. But still, this is a time for opportunity. Those of you with enough drive can do literally anything you want. Start your own business. Move back in with your parents. It's completely up to you. The world is your parents' oyster. Anyway, that's just a taste. So how'd I do? Can I be the commencement speaker next year? I think he means for us. I didn't know that was a tryout, and I'd say no. Follow up. What courses would be offered at the Wicked Theory Institute of Technology? And asking for a friend, is enrollment still available?
Podcasting 101, obviously.
Sure. We'd have a class on that. I think...
how to talk without hurting your jaw.
I think if I was going to have a college or a school, I'd make putting my comic collection in order sequentially would be a course.
I can tell you what won't be there, which is math.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, that's what counting. Counting is like, that's our math class. Counting.
It's banned.
1, 2, 3. You've passed.
Yeah, not a counting, just counting.
Just counting. Yeah. You know, not even with the little Roman clef. What's the apostrophe at the front because we dropped the A. Just counting. Right. Anything else? No.
Maybe recording.
There you go.
Basic recording.
Basic recording and how to draw stick figures. That's our
marketing.
Class. Okay, so he then says, did you guys see Preacher? I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's this little comic book that came out in the 90s that got made into a television show. There's even a few podcasts devoted to it. I'm not sure that you guys know about this, but it seems like it would be something for maybe you guys could get into. Sure.
We'll take it under advisement.
We'll think about it. We're going to think about it. Yeah, it's his idea, though.
Mm-hmm. No, forget it then.
We were already doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. He came late, basically. If you are interested in this one podcast called Preacher vs. Preacher, it even compares the comic book to the show, and I'll do it relatively professional-like.
Oh, thanks for the plug.
Thanks for the plug. Mm-hmm. The final two questions, because why not? That technically is one of them. Why do Fat Chance and Slim Chance mean the same thing? Because life sucks, man.
I think they don't mean the same thing. I've always taken fat chance to mean you got no chance, and slim chance to mean there's a tiny chance.
Tiny chance. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll take that. Palmer, you're wrong. We're right, you're wrong, Palmer. It's official. Then he wraps it up with where the hell is Dom? I mean, any clues to his whereabouts?
He's right here. What are you talking about?
Could he really have gone that far? Did he join something?
Dom, your thoughts.
When do the milk cartons go out?
He joined the cult of personality.
Palmer out.
He was out getting hair
Dom
plugs.
does not want to share with you where he was, Palmer. So you're fucking beat. Palmer, I'm giving you a 25-word limit from now on. As much as I read that earlier, I thought
140 characters, Palmer.
I thought it was going to read better. I really did. Like I proofread that one.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen.
Fire the proofreading department.
All right. From Brian Hughes.
Brian Hughes.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Who always keeps it simple and sweet.
Yes.
I hope you are all well.
Yes, we hope you are well, too.
He says, a stonking episode again last week.
We'll
Really,
take that as a good thing, I think.
Yes. I want more local vernacular and stuff like that from him.
Absolutely. We need to
Brush up
and
on our Scottish
expand
slang.
our vocabulary.
Yes. A stonking episode again last week. Really entertaining. You're on a good run. Keep it up. Here are some questions. Who was your favorite villain in the 60s Batman series?
Wow, what is this, like 60 Batman Day?
I don't know, man. Maybe there was a marathon or something. But his was Cesar Romero's Joker.
Well, it did come up last week.
It did come up last week.
In the Ed Mills.
I think out of all of them, it's got to be him or the Riddler and Catwoman. Those are like the top three, kind of, right? I mean...
Yeah, Frank Gorshin is the Riddler. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
I mean, just, that suit.
Mm-hmm.
The laugh.
I'm just mesmerized by that suit. All right, so...
Yeah, that's a train wreck. In a good way.
Okay, since the Doctor Who reboot in 2005, who is your favorite Doctor? I would say the one that I go to who checks my butthole.
Don't watch the show.
Christopher Eccleston's short tenure as a ninth Doctor is my fave. I fell
Is that
off.
the one
I watched
before
a
this
little
current
bit.
one? I think that is.
Yeah.
No, that was the first one.
In 2005.
Yeah, the very first
where it got
one.
rebooted in 2005, so he was the first guy to come back when it kind of got relaunched. There's been like 3 now.
Yeah,
or
it was
4?
him. He was on for one season. Then David Tennant, Matt Smith,
And now...
Peter Capaldi's about to start his 3rd season.
Right.
And the other 2 each did 3.
Okay, so did you watch a lot of it?
I
It seems
like
like it's
Peter
in your place.
Capaldi because he's the only one I've watched consistently.
Okay. I watched Matt Smith was the one before him.
Yes.
So I watched some of the Matt Smith one. I watched some before Capaldi came, and then I was digging it. Like I wasn't feeling like I thought it was gonna be one of these things where it's like it's unpenetrable, and it's really not because it's sci-fi. It's almost analogy kind of thing where it's like every week something different, crazy's going on, and all you need to know is like he's got a history with the Daleks. That's the history. Like that's tangentially much. That's like kind of like you need. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's not more to it.
No, it's Daleks.
Daleks, Daleks.
Every Whovian right now is cursing your name. Bill.
That's all right. We'll tell them to actually pronounce it fucking
Daleks.
properly in fucking in America when they're
They
here.
consider themselves Whovians. They really should fucking kill themselves.
It's a thing to dial back. I think it's a thing to dial back whenever somebody mispronounces a thing that's not a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like asking somebody if they're a Trekkie or saying someone's a Trekkie and they consider themselves a Trekker, and they get real
It's
upset about
kind of
that.
like a little bit of that. It's data versus data. It's GIF versus GIF. It's a little bit of that.
Well, no,
Tomato.
No, there's a difference. GIF is wrong.
Dum-dum. So,
Peanut butter is Jif.
there you go.
Yeah.
And I say
To
it's
keep it
YIF.
different.
And I
Yeah.
say it's YIF.
And there's a fucking J.
And that's why I say it's a YIF. Because we should all just
I'm
pronounce
sorry,
it like
I think
it's
a
Spanish.
Yif is like sex between 2 furries or something.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that in listings.
So
I always
so
avoid
it
it.
made me want to avoid using that.
All right. I have now... Okay, oh wait, I skipped one. Did you guys dig the Outcast pilot as much as me?
Yeah, we touched on that.
It's a cracking start to the series, he says.
Yeah.
And it is indeed a cracking start to the series, buddy.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Definitely attention getter. Turn that episode on. You will. Well, I stopped, but I'm not into horror.
So, well, you heard us talk about it a little bit earlier, so
Yeah.
you know where we stand on that.
Definitely going to be excellent for what it is.
He wraps it up by saying, I have now ordered more Preacher books, much to my wife's chagrin. I've told her to direct her ire to your attention, to your direction, Bill. Hope you don't mind. Cheers, guys. I don't mind. I mean, if she can beat me in a fight, then it's a problem. But, I think otherwise I'll be all right. She's kind of far away.
She comes to our door, then we got a problem.
And the only thing I can really say is if she's got an issue, she can write an email. All right? Then we're going to wrap up emails, kids, with the piece de resistance. No, we did him already. This one's for Steph.
I was just doing the email music.
Okay, fair enough. Steph's got a little jingle. It's a little Batman-y thing. Yeah, there you go. And she goes, hey, you guys. Hey, I don't really have much this week, so this will be short. I've got to prepare for tomorrow's Preacher vs. Preacher. We're doing a live thing. If you're hearing this on Monday, our newest episode will be up. It's not really a true recap episode of Preacher vs. Preacher because there's no episode this week, but Steph's going to come on. We're going to do a live thing. You'll be hearing it, obviously, pre-recorded, and you'll feel left out that you weren't there when it was live. I'm sorry. Okay. So she goes on to say, I recently watched the trailer for the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and I thought the first movie was okay. This one looks like it might be better now that they're adding in Rocksteady and Bebop. But I could still do without Morgan Fox and her look. My midriff is showing kind of stuff. Megan Fox?
Yeah,
what did I
Megan
say? I said Morgan? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, maybe that would be more interesting.
Well, she might as well call herself Morgan Fox now because she don't look much like the way she used to. She's had a lot of needless plastic surgery.
I really don't find that she's looking that much plastic surgery. No. I feel like she looked like she had
if you look
plastic
at her side by side, I've seen pictures of her before and after. There's a big difference.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess. Maybe I'd have to do that.
She's going to a good surgeon, so it doesn't look like she's having a lot of plastic surgery.
I got you. It's all incremental kind of a thing,
right.
probably. Yeah. Very good. All right.
But she didn't need it in the first place. She's gorgeous to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I never get. Usually it's these drop dead,
It's like saying,
drop dead gorgeous women.
Buy a Renoir and then paint over it.
Yeah, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to make this better.
I like it better with a hat.
You know what I mean? It's like, Michelangelo. You know what the problem is with Michelangelo? That statue, he's too tall.
Yeah,
it's too
let's
tall.
cut him off at the knees.
Let's cut him off at the knees. We'll fix it. We'll smooth it out. Right. No one will know. Okay.
The genitals are too big, David. So we got to do something.
Oh, well, that's the problem. It looks like it's cold in there. All right. So, I don't know that it really was a question. She says that her next question, but that really wasn't a question. So, but her next question has to do with Casey Jones. In this case, played by CW's Green Arrow, Stephen Arnell, rather. Arnold.
Amell.
Thank you. I didn't watch much Green Arrow, but I watched the Constantine episode and a few after that. And I catch glimpses of it being on right before Supernatural. He's a good actor, and from what I've seen, it looks like he's suited for the physicality of the role. I'll always be a fan of the '90s movies. And Elias Koteas, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Did I really?
Yeah.
I think you're fucking lying. All right, and that was my Casey Jones. But Amell has a midriff to rival Fox's, so he's perfect to pull in the female millennials who probably have no idea who Koteas is, except for that guy from Chicago PD. So I ask you, if you were to watch the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and were able to compare, what do you think is the better Casey Jones, that dude or this dude?
I haven't seen Amell yet.
I haven't seen him, and I'm going to say he's already better. Because that was in the 90s.
I haven't seen either. So
there you go. Thumbs out.
Yeah, I think the original Casey Jones, he was kind of like, hey, I'm Casey Jones.
I think he was over. I think he was trying a little too hard.
Also, he had more of a personality. He really kind of wasn't as much of like an action badass.
Yeah, the movie one from back in the days is sticking with the character kind of thing. I think he is kind of like a thing with a raspy voice, and he's supposed to like always have the mask on, and
yeah.
Obviously now it'll be Amell, so the mask is off like 95% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I really can't compare because I genuinely fairly can't compare because I didn't see both of them. But I will just say Amell because I can fucking do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's your prerogative.
Next question.
Next question would be a question, but I have no more questions. I have no more emails. She says, "Have a great show, guys." Steph,
Thanks.
we did. Quite literally, we did have a great show. I don't know if there's anything left for us to talk about, guys. Could there possibly be anything left?
Well, there was a big superhero movie that came out this weekend. that no one's asked us about.
Now, why would no one ask us about it, Ed? Why do you think that might be?
I don't know.
I know.
Robert.
Because it's a Fox superhero movie.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Not only is it a Fox superhero movie, but it's an X-Men movie, and we're just about done
With the X-Men.
it feels that way.
Yeah.
It feels that way because they're not bringing it back to life.
With the exception of Deadpool, we are done with the X-Men.
Ed, if you can, what did you think of it in a brief fashion?
I think it has some excellent moments.
Yeah.
Especially the storyline with Magneto, and Quicksilver shows up, and he has a great moment. I think overall,
You mean the moment that's on every single commercial?
Oh, now it is, yeah.
Yeah. Seems like once the movies come out, like they just start giving it all away.
They spoil everything. But overall, I just didn't think it worked. I thought Oscar Isaac was kind of wasted with that part.
All right.
Playing Apocalypse. And the story doesn't really come together. And I thought the special effects in the end were good but not great. And if you're going to do this, after Civil War, if that doesn't fly anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this... It's really hard to say this because I really wanted to like this movie, but
okay.
I'm going to give it 2.5 American tacos.
2.5
American So it's basically
tacos.
It might be worth renting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And if you're
but not at the price of admission.
Yeah. If you're an X-Men fan, yeah, go see it. But if you're not and you're wondering,
you'll get by without it.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So it's worth seeing, maybe not worth paying.
Yeah.
And devoting all that time to go and say, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
you know,
it's kind of par for the course for Fox superhero movies.
Yeah, a little bit.
Plus, now you also have the fact that Marvel is banging them out of the friggin' park every single time, and it's just making these guys look that much worse.
Yeah, people really just
can't
keep up now.
Right. So this is basically what Sony has done with kind of like making a new deal with Marvel. It seems like that was the smart move.
Yeah, you just got to wait for a regime change. That's all. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to regime changes at these studios.
The people involved now, it's not going to happen.
No, because now it's about pride and hubris and all this kinds of shit. Yeah. And I will not be proven wrong because in Hollywood is a theory thinking that if you concede anything, you know what I mean, or if you can't have a mar on your. What's perceived as a mar on your history at a studio because it'll keep you from getting promoted to another place. That's what I mean.
It's a sign of weakness.
You ever see Swimming with Sharks? Good movie. Great line.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Never apologize. It's a sign of weakness.
That's right. There's a lot of life lessons in that fucking movie. If you kids want to see a movie, go in Swimming with Sharks, man. Kevin Spacey at his
trust me,
best.
That movie is going to be in the O'Hare Archive of Cinema, which I am putting together. Grant, don't think I forgot about you. That is coming. It's
seeing Kevin Spacey at his shittiest, nastiest, vilest, of a person. Love it. All right,
blue, sweet and low pink,
with the whole fucking sweet and low thing. Love it. All right, kids, we're gonna wrap it up. Dominic, thank you for coming back and joining us, getting back in the fold in the mix. Will you be here next week?
TBD.
TBD. To be decided. I love it. Keep them hanging.
Yes?
Keep them wondering.
What was that? You said my name.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Not here. That's not your name. But people can find you on the web, on the Twitter
sphere.
sphere.
On Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like.
Oh.
At Dom_Tory for both.
That's nice. TORRE, kids. And then, Ed, where can people find you?
At Edward O'Hare, TBD.
And my brother Bob.
At Bob WTPC.
At Bob WTPC. And then you can find me at Wicked Theory. You can find the show at wickedtheory.com. You can
find Preacher vs. Preacher at Preach vs. Preach.
That's right.
Tune in to our live show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, this is going to be this is going to go up in the future, so.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So, thank you for listening to the live event that we
you
have.
can listen to it tomorrow.
That's true. That's true. You can listen to it in retrospect, and you can retroflect all you like. Kids, it's good times. And we're going to take it. Bobby's going to take us out. Bob, take us home.